Oh, I guess that ended.
Here today, we are.
We are gathered today to talk
How's it
about
going?
people.
Yeah. How's it going, Louis?
Hi, guys.
Sorry, trying to see who's joining us.
Roger that.
We are waiting for at least Udi. Not sure if Kenny's internet is working.
Yeah, Kenny.
Still not.
No,
Oh, that's
not
crappy.
until after his thing said after 9:00. You sent that to me, by the way. That you didn't send it to him.
Oh, I thought it was on the other one.
No,
I have like 20 chats.
I know. Yeah,
I bet you do. The puppet master pulling on them strings.
I know.
Oh, that's Udi. Udi's the hut master.
No, use like the
The
Stromboli in the
trail master. I don't know what he
Yeah.
use like the Stromboli in Pinocchio. Yeah,
Yeah.
got no strings on me.
exactly.
Well, while we wait for people, we can start to get into this. I'm sure, Lewis, you probably have lots to say on this subject.
Not as much as you think.
Oh, okay.
However, I did some research because I didn't want to come into this like totally a neophyte and ignorant to the situation. I mean, clearly everybody knows that Iger and the Walt Disney, the board of directors of the Walt Disney Company right now have pledged, what is it? I think 60 billion United States dollars to the company as a whole, specifically the experiences division. So, but I've been reading a lot of articles about where the 60 billion is going.
Mostly overseas.
And no, believe it or not, from what I read, the majority of it's going to the cruise line.
Oh, well, that too, yeah.
And it's going to DLRA.
Really?
Not Walt Disney World.
For Disney Ford, then, I would guess.
The majority of it's going to Disney Ford project as far as land projects in the United States. However, I did read this one obscure report in South Carolina that Vero Beach is going to get, I think, something like $3 million to improve their infrastructure at the Vero Beach Resort. But it was really, really obscure, real, just I had to dig deep for that one. But as far as Disney real estate in the continental United States, the majority of that allotted $60 billion, a portion of that $60 billion is going. Majority of it's going to DLRA.
Huh.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean that's good.
for you West Coast people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
absolutely.
been a while since they spent money on over there.
Fransokio. I mean, they spent money on that.
That's like
That
nothing.
was like
It's just like a repaint. And
yeah, it's like that's like a $10 regular.
Let's put up some. What do you call it? Bridge construction iron.
It's a few new signs, some paint jobs, and literally a snap together bridge that went over the existing thing.
You mean so it was just a nice holiday overlay, if you will.
That's what practically is.
Like a little erector set that they put together.
No. I feel what you're saying, like the holiday overlay for the Haunted Mansion, for example. It's like that, but it's a little more permanent.
It's permanent, but it was built like that. Maybe if they
I think the Haunted Mansion was overlays built better than San Francisco.
Steve, you would think it was. I'll tell you that right now.
Not because it's DCA or anything.
Speaking about that, so I've been getting a lot of Disney love for my savage hot take on the Walt Disney World version of the Hatbox Ghost. I've been getting a lot of what do you call it? But a lot of reprisals for it. A lot of tongue lashing. Like, how can you say that? I'm like, it's easy to say it. He's in the wrong place. You know what I mean? I'm going to say it.
Truth hurts.
You know, like yay, we got a fifth generation audio animatronic. Yay. It's in the wrong
Yeah.
place. Like move him 200 meters forward, we'll be fine. Call it a day. You know what I mean? But they don't want to hear that. They just want to, ooh, Hatbox Ghost. Ooh. I think it's because of the new movie, the Haunted Mansion movie that came out last year with Owen Wilson and Rosario Dawson. I think that's the reason why everybody was so excited about the Hatbox Ghost making his appearance at WDW.
Right.
Yeah, and that's probably the reason it's in the wrong place as well.
At least you got one. That's what they're all saying.
You know, Steve, I would rather not have the Hotbox Ghost than have
where
it in the
it
wrong
is.
place. Exactly.
Yeah. Because like at Disneyland, I think it's in the perfect spot.
He's in the perfect spot. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, right before the attic. Like he's literally right outside the attic. There he is. He is beckoning you
going out
into
the window.
attic.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so I guess what we are getting into is why Bob Iger has recently done these changes.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Rhonda.
Changes that he's done basically in the last couple months, and I guess what I'm getting at is that he's doing it because he was a little worried that pelts would be coming in, and you know that's why he sent out the thing about telling shareholders how to vote, and you know all these changes keep coming in.
Right.
It happened, and this happened last year when Peltz was trying to come on board, and
yes,
Peltz was saying, I'm going to do this and this and this, and then all of a sudden Disney starts doing the same stuff, and then so Peltz backed off, and now here we are again. Yes. Peltz says he's going to do some things, he wants change some things, and now Disney's doing the same thing. So
right,
I mean, if you're only going to change stuff when you feel threatened, you shouldn't be in this position, Like we need somebody who's going to constantly look out for the best of the company and the best of the parks and everything, So Iger's doing something a little too late, but I mean, I guess he's moving in the right direction, but I don't really care. Yeah, he needs to go. So
on that note, so clearly everything I've been reading about this is that it appears, according to released press reports, that Iger's concerned about the April 5th general meeting.
Right.
This is when the board is going to vote, or I should say it's the general shareholders meeting where the shareholders are going to vote on the board. And Iger has been doing a lot of both internal and exterior lobbying within the Walt Disney Company to ensure that he will be maintained as the CEO of the Walt Disney Company, along with his chosen people. There's this one guy from Nike that the current CEO of Nike that he's trying to get reelected to the board, and I believe what financial organization was the other guy belonging to? Some big one too. But anyway, I mean, no, I just found this out by reading about the interview from the Hollywood Report. Well, not interview, but the article from the Hollywood Reporter about, and this was on March 5th, that Bob Iger was at the conference of Morgan Stanley in San Francisco, and he literally said that Mr. Peltz and his proxy are a distraction right now for the company because it's taking away the direction with which Bob Iger, speaking for the Walt Disney Company, wants to go in. So I don't know. It's a lot of doublespeak. And then I read the big article from the one put out from the Walt Disney Company, talking about the strategic direction initiative and how they want to do serious capital investment in the experience division and how they're doing a major revamp, I guess, of the studio, and this has to go back to the whole MCU and how they're modifying the MCU again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? Oh yeah, and the big takeaway from that article was it was confirmed by the Walt Disney Company that the Avatar experience is coming to DLRA. That has been confirmed by the company.
And it's really a land.
Well,
Right.
it keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But
they confirmed it, though. I mean,
but they actually physically confirmed that, yes, we're building Avatar. We're building it in California. Have at it.
So it is a land then.
it's a land.
Yes.
They specifically said.
Because
Yes.
before
Now-
Iger kept saying it was a land, but the company said no, it's an experience, and going back and
Right.
forth.
Right.
So
But I mean, it has been confirmed that it's going to happen, and it's probably going to be a part of Disney Forward.
right. Well, that's cool.
Meaning in the land area adjacent to DLRA.
Yeah.
That's where it's gonna, like, in the hotel complex.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that area.
How's it going, Udi?
Good afternoon, good evening, gentlemen.
So you just got done with your podcast, huh?
Yeah, about 30 minutes ago, and I had to run out and come back. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, Mark is probably still driving home, to be honest.
Yeah, he said he's not going to make it. So
Yeah, he was like, I don't know if I can make it. I'm like, well, he actually came to record here, so I'm at home. So if not, the shoe would have been on the other foot. I'd be like, I'm driving home.
yeah.
But yeah, no, but I stepped into an interesting spot. I came in an interesting time. What are you doing about Bob? Huh? What about Bob?
Yeah.
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
I should have called it that. Yeah, we're just getting into some of the things that he's, started changing, which we talked about. Basically restructuring again Marvel stuff. I mean, I guess they're backing off on a lot of the movies, and
Yep.
said they're going to do like one or two bigger movies a year or whatever that means.
Well, I think the one thing that the one takeaway, I think in general, that you can take from, we'll go with the Marvel, is I think these are small indicators of them recognizing that the path that they've been on isn't working any longer. I heard Lewis. I walked in when I came in the room. I heard Lewis something about doublespeak, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, I don't know where I'm coming in, because Bob Iger, unfortunately, and it isn't solely Bob Iger. It's kind of like a corporate thing to have doublespeak in there. So as far as Marvel goes, I think that has been underway for a little while. That's just my feeling, my suspicion, that they're recognizing that this isn't working. If you've been paying attention, rumors coming out of Captain America 4, rumors coming out of the Daredevil, the shooting for Daredevil, what the actress for She-Hulk said. Also, now that with the Marvels, looking at what happened, and now the rumblings are beginning that Brie Larson, she's the one saying, I don't know if I want to come back. So I think, trying to kind of dissect what's going on, I think definitely the Marvel retooling has been coming for a while. So we'll see. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic.
Right.
That's going to begin to turn it around. The delay with Blade, the other thing there, backing up Blade. They fired the showrunner for X-Men 97 before the premiere. All these things that are popping up, you're like, holy cow, like, this is all insane. But here we are, and it has to point to something, right? It can't just be, I don't know, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't think it's something that, all these crazy things are just happening right now,
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I understand. Like, there's been bad publicity on movies and bad ratings and
Mhm.
obviously not making money. That's been happening for past
minute.
few years. I mean,
I think they're hoping Deadpool is gonna kind of
Well,
help pull them out of.
no, I agree with that 100%. Have you heard the rumors around Deadpool though?
No.
Of what they want to do with the character? And with
Oh,
the movie?
great. Uh-oh.
No, this is actually good.
Oh, okay.
I heard it. I'm like, oh man, obviously rumor and speculation. It would be
Yeah.
great if they did it. I don't think they are. To be 100% real, it would be great if they do what I heard, what some people are rumoring it to happen. I swear to you, I will leave that theater with probably a bigger sense of joy than I have in a long, long time. The idea is that they're going to use this at what is the organization that has to deal with Loki? The
Oh,
the
yeah.
TVA.
Yeah.
the TVA, right? TVA.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the trailer, he's in the TVA. And a lot of
Right.
people are like, oh no,
Mhm.
they're going to do multiverse, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people are pointing out, how did Deadpool 2 end? Remember that?
Yeah, I can't remember.
He was cleaning up the timeline.
Oh,
was-
that's right. Yeah. He had that little pager thing or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
He was jumping around and he was
Yeah.
cleaning up the other. And so a lot of people are like, is that a coincidence now? Maybe he's going to run around and they're going to use him to start cleaning up the timeline. Now,
Yeah.
that is a huge leap. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But wouldn't it be a perfect vehicle and a perfect character to actually do that with? And then they can just don't have to admit to, hey, we didn't do so good over here. They can just be like, whoop,
Let's start
turn
over.
the corner
Yeah.
and turn the corner nicely and be like, hey, we knew it all along. So it would be great. I don't think it's going to happen, but man, would
But
that
we
not-
know the truth. I mean, even if that happened, like that's a cool way of like doing it in the movie. But here in real life, we still know you just weren't doing as well, and that's like a way to fix it for your continuity. But
yeah, it'd be great. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be great. It'd be fun. It's fun every once in a while. They kind of go out there and be like, man, what if? But yeah, no, but going back to it, yeah, they're absolutely, I think, hitching themselves to Deadpool 3. I mean, really, you look at it Marvel-wise, what else is coming out?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I think there are some coming
there's
out,
some
but
stuff, but they can't.
well, like Fantastic Four, right? So they're
Right.
thinking about bringing that, and they better not mess that up because
No,
you
they
saw
won't.
what happened with not the first. The first two were just okay. I mean, it was cool that they actually had the characters.
Yeah, but that was in a different era for
Exactly.
comic book movies.
Marvel's been doing.
Yeah.
They've been doing the same thing they were doing with Star Wars. Like it started out cool, you put in these established directors and whatnot,
Mhm.
But then they just like, oh well, you're woke. You made a movie. Here you go. Have this big franchise on, and it just screws up everything.
Yeah.
They didn't put any thought into it. They just like, oh, I got this movie. Now I'm going to do whatever I want with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to want to foster talent and bring up people who have displayed a knack for directing and storytelling. It's another thing to bring up people for outside reasons. For me, the meritocracy should be above all, right? We all know that Hollywood can be a game and whatnot, but at the end of the day, the meritocracy still needs to be there at some level. So if they've earned that and shown that they can do that, then cool. I mean, let's go back to Sharmino Bechanoy. What's going on there? Not saying she's not a good director and good storyteller, because apparently her documentaries, everything I've heard, are fantastic. But does that translate? Does that translate over to filmmaking at that level? And that's always an interesting question. I don't know if it does.
Yeah. I mean, clearly it didn't. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, I made like one or two good movies and, here's this whole thing. It's like Taika Waititi, like they just put him all over the place and like he was funny and then now it's just like it's way too much. It's just nobody wants him anymore.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. But this whole conversation goes beyond, just the movies. Like,
Well, yeah.
I just want to point out like some things that I wrote down what Iger has done, and we can pick and choose what we want to go on.
All right, go for it.
I mean, you hit on some like the firings that he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's been like 3 or 4 high-profile firings going back to the diversity. I forgot what her name was, but
Yeah, she quit.
well,
The one that was in charge, right?
yeah,
Yes.
she's the one that was like, "Oh, I can do whatever I want. I can blah blah blah." Yeah. But yeah, Disney actually came out, or Iger, I guess, said that they were done pushing agendas.
Mm-hmm.
Get back.
They would be focusing on the parks with the
Mhm.
money and all that, or at least they say they are. Offering stock buybacks. They got this Epic Games deal, so they said they would never really get into doing video games like that, but that's going on. You want to say something?
Well, is that done? Is that signed and sealed? The Epic.
I don't know if it's done.
Yes,
but
yes,
It is? Okay.
$1.4 billion, and in the Walt Disney Company article I read was that it's being used to develop a Disney addition to the Fortnite universe.
Okay.
I guess it's some kind of game popular with children.
It is.
And I'm not a video game person, so sorry guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know because my granddaughter plays Fortnite and she loves that stuff. So having Disney characters in that universe pretty much is going to be like a real big, I don't know, resurrection of the video games division. Like everybody remembers the old Disney Interactive Company,
right?
Mm-hmm.
When they were producing games back at the turn of the century.
Yeah,
I guess this is like their re-entry into the market with that company.
Yeah, well,
and the merger partnership.
And my thing was, though, I didn't know if it had passed SEC and everything had passed yet. So that's why I was kind of like, I hadn't followed that because I heard that hadn't fully been approved all the way. It hadn't cleared all its regulatory hurdles as of yet.
Right.
But if it hasn't, okay, cool. I mean, to me, that's a great idea. When he announced that, I'm like, cool. And then I started hearing, well, it's not 100% done.
Right.
But we're working on it, kind of thing. Like we're like 90% of the way there. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if it's 100% done, that I'm all for that. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Walt Disney Company's official communique said, that it's done deal. They spent that $1.4 billion. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So
good.
Yeah, great.
That is good news. That is good news. Look.
I mean, good on them. I mean, yeah, like, you know, like I know a lot, like my older kids love the old Kingdom Hearts series.
Right.
A lot of people did. I was never into it. A lot of people did.
Huge fans. So I mean, clearly Disney has something there with video game content, you know, and it just needs to be properly developed.
Well, and you know, Lucas, when they had Lucas Games and all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
LucasArts, right?
Yeah, and I remember when they got rid of the company. You're like, I don't understand those moves. I mean, and then I feel like it's a circle back. Which either way, it's fine if they circle back in and begin producing good content again as far as video games go. Great.
Right.
I mean, great. I mean, I'm all on board for that.
They should actually do like where I used to work for Interplay. It was a production
I know that.
game company, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of ideas and stuff from other people and other companies come to Interplay.
Yeah.
And then they would produce the games and stuff. So Disney actually, with Epic Games, maybe should do something like that, where that way they don't have to put 100% of all their resources into creating the games and just become a developer or,
Creative input.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
and
Using IPs.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a savvy way of trying to reestablish themselves into video games without having to take on the overhead of creating the studio and doing all that. And especially now knowing how kind of cash strapped the company is in some level, and understanding the proxy battle that's been going, all these little factors kind of kind of play into why they did this, and it makes sense for them to have done that. Like I said, I'm glad they did something to kind of re-enter into this, because it is a hugely missed potential market for them. Huge.
Yes.
Of course.
So they have to re-enter into that. I mean, maybe this is another signal that throwing all the eggs into the streaming basket is starting to real. They're going like, okay, maybe not.
Hold up a minute. I got some news on the streaming. I got a whole bunch of news on streaming. like Disney, Iger is getting ready to double down. It's
on streaming.
Crazy. On streaming. He's getting ready to double down. So here's Udi. So here's the deal, right? So according to
hit me with it. Hit me.
Forbes magazine. Yes, Forbes magazine. I was reading this article in Forbes magazine about the proxy fight. And more or less, the article goes on to say that Bob Iger in this meeting announced that the goal of the Walt Disney Company is to fully transform ESPN into a complete digital service.
Okay.
That is their goal. At the same time, they're attempting to put Hulu content onto Disney Plus, available to Disney Plus subscribers.
Okay.
This is another growth of the streaming. And then also that they're talking about a partnership with Hulu with Warner Brothers Discovery or Discovery Warner, and who else? Who's the other company? Some other entertainment conglomerate to expand Hulu as a whole. So really, Bob Iger, while he's clearly ignoring the fans opening the back catalog, clearly wants to expand. Clearly wants to expand the streaming options available for the Walt Disney Company.
I thought they were gonna.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna sell off the ESPN part.
No, they say that is a jewel of the Walt Disney Company.
Wow.
Like Iger says that ESPN is uniquely positioned in the world of sports to provide coverage on sports no one else is covering in North America.
Well,
yeah, all the soccer games nobody wants to watch.
I'm just saying, look, agree or disagree, that's fine. I'm just telling you what I read in the article. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what he was saying, was that they were uniquely positioned to capitalize on the streaming revolution. And that's why the goal of the company is to completely digitize ESPN.
Well, I do remember hearing something about that. My point of view on that is it makes sense when you add one more layer into that. And that layer is ESPN Bet. So I think that goal is to try to tap into the market of the gambler. Because if you watch an ESPN game now, and I've been seeing it for a little while because I don't watch a lot of ESPN, but they have the running odds in the corner. You're literally watching the running odds for the game that they're televised. And I'm like, oh, okay, doesn't this seem weird? Anybody else? I mean, it may not be weird to anybody else, to me. So I get that point of view. The Hulu part, my thought was that it was Hulu that they would try to integrate into Disney Plus. Now, I thought to myself, then you're just going to burn Hulu down if you do that. Trying to force people onto Disney Plus, which sadly Disney's had the bad habit to try to force people in directions that they want. But if they're not going to do that, and they're going to then bolster and partner with other companies to build up Hulu, good. Right. Good, because Hulu itself is standalone profitability.
Yeah.
And it's also
don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
Right. If you start combining it into Disney Plus, what happens to everybody who has separate subscriptions? You're going to lose that money.
So it becomes to play a little Rob and Peter to pay Paul game, depending on how you do that. This person cancels. How do you count subscription? Blah blah blah. It winds up being this huge rigmarole. When if they just left Hulu alone and left Disney Plus alone, and I would be of the counter argument that if they're going to roll anything in, they need to roll Disney Plus into Hulu. That's how I would think if you're going to do it. But
They also need to roll in all of the Fox properties that they can put out.
Well,
I know they
let's-
started doing some stuff, but
some of it. So that's the other part of it. So if he leaves Hulu alone and actually partners with other production houses and other providers and other things, then that's actually a smart strategy, because that's basically what Netflix does. Netflix, they could in theory
Partners with everybody.
copy the Netflix model, but I don't think they have currently, at least they've not shown the savvy ability to learn and how to make that work with Disney Plus. We've had Disney Plus for like 3 years, I think now, coming up. 3, is it 2 or 3? 3. Or
4.
4. And they haven't grown. They have not been profitable. And so these are all the things I'm like, I hope that works. I hope that's what they do, and I hope they continue to develop Hulu to make that a better brand and not try to pull that in and just do what Iger's done, which is, oh, I'm just going to buy that, and now it's part of business. Like, dude, let that live on its own. It's a breathing, successful entity.
Yeah.
Help it and let it grow,
Right.
and help it grow. Yeah, so that'd be great.
Well, like with CNN or like with ESPN. ESPN
Yes.
is a jewel of the Walt Disney Company, and
yeah, and
it would be foolish to sell it. I mean, really would.
Well, I agree, and I think this is them trying to capitalize again with the streaming, and trying to get that, because ESPN does have rights to some football and things of that. So
Right.
here in North America, NFL is king. NFL is king.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, but like CBS and NBC Universal pretty much have the, I'm not going to say monopoly, because you have the Fox network that does occasional broadcast of games, but it's CBS and NBC, they're dominating that current live broadcast of games.
ESPN is only
direct-
Monday Night Football.
The
That's it.
what do you call it? Along with the DirecTV Sunday Ticket option.
Yes.
If you're into NFL, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah.
So yeah, and he's not going to want to give up that part of that market.
Hell
that
no.
market share. I mean, it'd be foolish. It'd be absolutely
Yes.
foolish. So anything that he would do would have to try to bolster that and making Hulu or ESPN a better option than Fox or CBS,
Right.
or NBC. So yeah, because it's true. I mean, whatever games I caught, I was either on Peacock or on and then on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus, right?
Yeah. And I caught a ton of games on those streaming services. And
Right.
so if he can pull this off, and this is where, again, track history is what it is. I don't know if he can. If they can pull it off, then that bodes well for the overall, financial health of the company.
Right.
Yeah. Now, that being said, though, I wonder how much of this is coming into play because of the proxy battle. That I'm really curious, because right now they're trying to do everything they possibly can to make themselves look good, so that anybody, whether it be Blackwell's or Tryon or whoever, make it least desirable for them and say, look, no, I told you, because their statements coming out is like, we don't need this right now. I don't know if you guys have read the statement, paraphrasing is, we don't need this right now. We're on track. It'll only distract us, blah, 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 blah. And so we don't need this.
But they're only on track because of that.
And there we go. And see, there's the catch-22, right? So this is why I go there. This is why I wonder, is like, okay, so if Bob, you didn't have this pressure coming from underneath, would you be enacting these moves? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have the whole previous year to show that he hadn't done nothing.
I remember you saying that all the time. Like, he just came aboard, and we're all excited that he's back, and he's going to expect all these things to happen, and nothing happened.
I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember.
Nick here has a comment that I think kind of ties into all this, and I didn't think about this either, but the whole thing won't fit on here. But He's basically saying, why are we not bringing back the employees that were fired or laid off during COVID?
Oh,
it's
you know
easy.
what? Oh, go ahead, Luz.
Right.
your
So the entire reason why we're not seeing the reestablishment of experiences employees coming back to work for the company is because Disney lost huge with the writer strike. They lost huge with the writer actor strike. They lost, and now they gotta like backtrack and try to figure out this whole residual scheme that they're gonna have to start paying actors and writers, so they don't have time to go ahead and unscrew the mess they made at the parks. Sorry, the employee priority now is on literally on the studio side, not on the experiences side. Just my hot take, if that's what you want to know.
Right.
No, I dude, spot
I
on.
took a bath, man.
Yo, no, spot on. This is what I constantly say on my show. The reason why we get into kind of like a little bit of a tizzy and a little hot blood about the failure in the box office is because it directly affects the park. Whether or not you think that's right doesn't even matter. It's what's happening. So they take the bath over there. They need to figure out, well, what are we going to do? So they have to do everything they can to keep the cost as low as possible in the park. So yeah, maintenance and the signs are there. The park isn't as nice as it is. More one-on-ones, not as many employees. Trying to force people to do the online this and online that. It reduces overhead and personnel. Period.
Absolutely.
Reservation system is still in place because of that. No other reason. So the sooner that Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios, Disney Film, Animation, Pixar, the sooner that they can begin to turn a profit again, the better the park is going to be. But until then, and we're going to be we're talking years down the road, because exactly right, with the strike, they took it they took it straight in the face, because now this is going to trickle down 4 years because they have no production. So now what you're going to get, and you have to be, and this is why Bob is actually, even though I think it's more because he's trying to save face, but he's actually correct and say we need to slow everything down. Yeah, one, because you don't have the people to do it as much anymore, and two, you can't afford to swing and miss anymore. That buffer that you had built with Star Wars and then with Marvel and all that buffer, that's all gone. COVID helped take that out, and then that writer strike just came in. Whatever was left, and just like boom, out the door.
Yep.
So this is
it. Ate it all.
What was that?
It ate it all.
It ate it all.
The strike
Everything.
ate every last bit of the residual reserve they had.
Yep.
And now they're literally been cut to the bone. And I believe this is one of the reasons why Iger is suggesting making all these promises, is suggesting spending $60 billion, is because, like we were talking before, the cast, Jason, I believe he's genuinely afraid. He's afraid of Nelson. He's afraid of Nelson.
100%.
He's afraid of the Blackwells. And
not
he's
as
afraid
much
of them. He's afraid of them trying to get on that board. And then of course with Nelson Peltz and the Blackwells, they would make real concrete change, as you've been talking about for years.
Yeah. The Hammer will, if Tryon or the Blackwells, I'm more the Tryons. I think Blackwells will be kind of a maybe more of a speed bump in what he wants to do. While if Nelson Peltz and why can't I think of his name? The CFO, the old CFO.
Jay
Rasulo.
Yeah, Jay Rasulo. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if they get the board, they're going to full on walk over to the driver and be like, "No, we're turning this way."
Yep.
And he'll start telling people, everybody, we need to turn this way.
Yep.
So absolutely, Bob Iger is. I mean, he's let his ego get in the way. He really has, and it's sad. And I keep
just like Chapek before him.
Yeah, well, and Chapek was a different animal, and I still, and we'll never know. I'm still of the mind, like, you give him the remainder of that contract that he had, I don't think we're in the mess that we're in. I don't.
I don't think so
I
either.
really don't. Now, we'll never know. But he
No.
was whole, like, how did I put it? I described it often. He's like, he is not the person that we want, but he's the devil we need at that moment. So at the moment when he came in and he saw what happened with COVID and all this, you look at the stock prices, he was doing what he needed to do to elevate the company. Now, that being said, do I think that eventually near the end of this, because he had three years and then they signed him up they re-signed him for another 3. Do I think by the end of year 2, if he would have made it that far, I would have been calling for him to hit the bricks? Absolutely, because of how he is. But in that moment, in that window, he did what he needed to do, and actually the company thrived in a very difficult situation. But he would have had to have done it, no doubt. So it's so weird that we're here and then we have no clear-cut path when we should. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Iger, and so I don't know if you've seen that there was 4 names that got dropped.
Right. Yes, that was one of my things on the list. Too.
Yeah, for possible now, and I'm like, and I kind of scratched my head when I saw those names drop. I'm like, again, would we have gotten him to do any of that without
I don't think so.
Nelson Peltz?
No, I mean, Peltz is asking for him to resign, so they're like, "Well, here's my replacements now, or possible candidates, or whatever." See, we're thinking about it.
Well, like I said, one of the things that Nelson Peltz asked for was and it came up last time, and it's come up this time, is a clear-cut succession plan.
Right.
And now, randomly, out of the blue, 4 names drop. And I'm like, where did these names come from? Like, I read the names. I'm like, okay, well, there's a couple in there. Kind of makes sense. But this was odd, right? Again, these are all the things that are happening. I'm like, are you only doing this because you're actually beginning to fear the push from Triad, from Nelson Peltz? It has to be. It has to be.
Why,
I mean,
why would you have some of those people listed on there? Like, you have some of them who were just running one park. You kind of put them, a little up in the next position up, but they haven't had time to sit there and develop yet. And you want them to run the whole company? Like,
it's the same thing they did with Chapek.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have people in experience. And we said Jay was already the CFO, and Peltz has run other companies. Like, I mean, there's people that could run it better, and you're just like putting names out just because,
Yeah, Rhonda just came back from Disneyland, and so yeah.
This is Rhonda's like assessment of
she just
went deferred maintenance.
Yeah, she just went to Disneyland, so just came back.
Yeah, and again, like we were just talking about, this is why. This is exactly why, because they've been taking a hit at the box office, and you cannot lose. I mean, it's got to be in the billions, right? That they've lost in film, not only with production but promotion,
marketing, right?
And market, yeah, it's both. It's 2 sides of the coin,
right? Of course,
and you can't do that and not feel it somewhere. And of course, the biggest thing that's going to be the most overhead and maintenance is the parks.
Of course,
right? But it's also the one thing that pays for everything else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that should be your first focus. I mean, that makes sense.
Oh, I agree. I mean, that's one of the things that I've been talking about for a while now. Like, if you do not maintain the park and maintain its value and its perception of value, that vein of cash will begin to dry up. So yeah, and then hearing, I get sad every time I hear people come back from the park and say, "Yeah, I saw this. That looked rusty. This was not painted. That looked disheveled. That looked broken down." this attraction went down, then that one went down, and then that one went down. I'm like, holy, wow. These are all issues that are all stemming from that, man. It's all stemming from massive studio failure.
So,
which
Udi,
extends from them not having proper people to make those movies.
I applied to be to work there to do that stuff. They didn't want me.
So Udi, here's a genuine question from your perspective, based on the lack of studio profit influencing the state of neglected or deferred maintenance at the parks. Do you honestly believe this could be an answer for why Tomorrowland is in such a sorry mess that it is currently at DLRA?
I think, honestly, there is a degree of that, yes. Now, Tomorrowland has been the forgotten land for more than just a few reasons. It's been the forgotten land for about 2 decades.
So since the turn of the century?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Coming up as a kid, growing up, I often said that Tomorrowland was where I went. You know, we like
Exactly.
down Main Street, hit the hub, and boom, to the right, because it was the future. It was exciting. But it hasn't advanced from when I was a kid.
No.
So that there is a level of that. I think all it's done is exacerbate that problem. That I think, if you really look at it, if none of this had happened, we could have probably had a better sense of them doing something with that land. But you tack on what's been going on now for the last 5 years, forget about it. Tomorrowland is going to sit there.
Yeah, I think they're going to
another decade at least before anything you hear a piece of something happening. So
I think they're going to focus on Disneyland Forward first, do all that, and then do Tomorrowland.
They have to at this point.
I think they would rather make a third park than mess with
Tomorrowland.
Yeah, because to them now it's going to be the question of like dollars and like, well, okay, Tomorrowland's already there, and if we do something with Tomorrowland, is that really going to draw more people? This is where I go, yes, exactly, yes. But they don't see it that way, and the sheer neglect of that land over this time proves to you that they have it. And this, I said it for a long time now. I actually have a. I should find my T-shirt. We actually made a T-shirt for our shop that says "Make Tomorrowland Great Again."
Yeah.
I will find it. I'll take it here. I'll find it. But because they have, and I said it a while ago, and all, like I said, with all them taking a bath in theaters just exacerbated it. They have not had a clear-cut idea of what to do with that land. They tried the movie. They tried to go the route, the classic, like, well, create an IP. Maybe it'll hit like with Pirates, and then we'll get a reinfusion of interest. It didn't work. And then they kind of went like...
I still think it...
Tron.
They should... Well, I still think it needs to be that movie.
Hold up, but let's go back to Tron, though. Tron is how old?
Now?
Well, the original or the next one?
1980, what was it?
Yeah, the original.
1982. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Think about that. 40 years. And
42 years.
We're going to bring that into the park to infuse it? Really? I've said often, if they want to infuse Tomorrowland, they need to create a brand new IP around it. Something about Mars, exploration, the future. Elon Musk is, this week was sending massive rockets into the sky. How are they not capitalizing on that race right there? So, yeah.
That's the issue with Tomorrowland that we're always talking about, is you can't focus on the future because the future is always
changing.
Either going to come or it's not going to be what you want, and so you're always going to change it.
Right. And then, by the way, I didn't mean to sidetrack the discussion into Tomorrowland.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
But it's just, I keep noticing that if the company's going to circle the toilet in the box office, and it's the parks that's keeping the company like solvent, solvent, then why not invest in doing Tomorrowland 2055? To me, and I think to a whole bunch of fans, it's a no-brainer. I mean, look, everybody on all the YouTube content creators that focus on DLRA have all said the same doggone thing. Bring back the wedway, rebuild it, have it circle the land, right? And possibly start branching out from Tomorrowland Transit Station out to Mickey and Friends, out to Toy Story parking lot, out to all these other places to facilitate ingress of guests, like you do with the monorail going from the Disneyland Hotel complex downtown Disney to Tomorrowland.
Yeah, it's
But
funny
do it for multiple locations with the Wedway.
So I just commented on LMG Vids's tram ride video, and I was like, tram is so much better than taking that bus to.
Right.
You know, when I said, when I take the tram, I feel like I'm going to Disneyland. If I take the bus, it feels like I'm going on a cross-country trip or something.
Right.
And a few other people said, well, they like taking the bus because it's less people and it's, I guess, faster. I don't know. I only taken the bus one time and I hated it. And that's why I never took it again. And I was like, well, I bet you if Walt was still alive and had his Imagineers work on it, there's no way they'd be taking a bus. They'll be taking something like the People Mover from Toy Story parking lot, or
exactly,
you know, or some other form of transportation,
or a Von Roll VR 101.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. And not a bus, a city bus.
Way,
that's
I've talked to Ron Van Roll.
Right.
We talked to him a while back, and he basically hinted that there's something in the works. He couldn't say anything, but he left a heavy hit. We're like, wait, what? Wait, what? Right. And he's like, you can't say anything else. I was like, yeah, Robbie Van Roll. We had him on the show. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I vaguely remember you mentioning that a while back. Yeah.
So because that goes back to the roots, and it would be amazing if you did anything like that. And you start hauling people in, move them in. It changes the game. You know, and maybe that's the thought with Disney Ford. Maybe they can go like, hey, you know, we can use this kind of stuff and begin to connect back in to the way it was before. You know, because remember, I mean, Walt had the thing of innovation, right? I don't know how many people are like, ooh, it's a thing, but you don't, you know, it's a Skyliner or something, you know. But where do you see that? You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, that's why the monorail is
unless you go skiing or something.
Well, yeah.
Well, other than like Walt Disney World, where it's a major form of public transport.
Yes.
Right.
And you know, and this is where I don't understand, because here we are in California. I'm in California, and the push is for mass transit, green energy, all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
That would fit into the concept 100% if they began to maneuver to that and begin to move people in a mass way in those kind of things, whether it be, you know, an extension to monorail add-on, or, you know, a Skyway, anything like that. That would create another sense of adventure, like you're riding into the park and you've already begun before you're even through the gates. And I think that's one of the things that's been kind of lost as of late, because you don't have that anymore, at least not in Disneyland. It's more like you just like have the mundane walk down the street or whatever, or you park off wherever and then you take a tram and you're like, okay, this is not fun. Because before, coming up, when they had that one before they put in DCA, you would drive up, you know, you drive up and you're like, there's
you would drive, you see that giant sign on Harbor Boulevard. Yeah. Right. And you knew where you were going.
Yes. Right. Yes. And so that needs to be recaptured. And I couldn't see why doing something along those lines, and maybe with Disney Ford, they can actually begin to be like, hey, let's open up our minds, oddly enough, by going backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
To what worked in the past.
Yes.
Yeah. What worked in the past would work in the future.
Yeah, and so this is where I have this huge thing about, like, why do you guys want to get away from things that work just because they're old?
Yeah.
Without going off a tangent, this is why I have this huge issue with the dependency on the phones, and now with the Magic Bands and all stuff. Stuff wasn't broke before. Don't make everybody do that.
Well, hold up, Udi. In defense, you answered your own question like 7 minutes ago when you said the entire reason for all this automation, for all this innovation was to cut staffing.
Yes.
You said to automate. I mean, I distilled it as let's automate the bejeeber out of it so we don't have to pay human beings.
Yeah. And
so we don't have to bring these employees back. We can leave them out in the cold for the duration.
With the new, now with the new ticket thing or the turnstiles.
But that's my counter. You're right. That's the rationale behind it. But this is where I go back to is like, but the human touch of a cast member and them being there, you need to make it where you have both. I would dare to say that majority of the people right now, if you're like, well, how many times are you sick of the automated like numbers, hit 0, hit 2, hit 3, hit 0, hit 2? I'm like, let me hit 0 to get to the person. And I still think a lot of people are going to be like, I'd infinitely rather be like, going into the park, go like, beep, how are you doing? Talking to cast member, I'm doing great. That human
interaction,
and interactivity with humanity, it connects beyond the machine. So I see why Disney would, but this is what I'm saying. They need to backtrack from that and recognize that humanity connects us all. So they need to somehow regain some of that. They have to. Because if not, it becomes a turnstile machine and nobody really cares anymore. You know,
an automat.
It loses its touch. It loses its luster.
Right.
So, and I can't find my shirt. Holy crap, where'd I put that? Like literally, I'm like, it should be right. Oh no, it's not.
Do you have a picture of it?
It's on our website. Maybe I'll find it. Oh, I know.
You can share the website.
The screen.
Yeah, the screen.
Or just link it.
You guys, you all need one.
I'll take one.
I found it.
Oh, cool. It's backwards.
Yeah, you're mirrored.
You're mirrored.
Wow. Here.
Yeah, that's better.
But you kind of get the idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah, so that's what we've had and we did this in 2017.
Who designed that?
Mark did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah. One of my favorites. Yeah. You can find that on our
what's your website?
leavingtodaypodcast.com. It's on TeePublic too, but you can straight link it to that.
To the website. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
Excellent.
we've got a couple throwbacks in there. We do have one inspired by the old marquee too.
Oh, nice.
The old marquee.
Oh
in.
yeah.
We're talking about the sign.
Like Jason's laser cut signs that he makes at Interactive Realm.
Yes.
Right.
Nice segue.
You're welcome.
Piggybacking what you were talking about, though, Udi, and Steve, you mentioned the turnstiles. They still have to have people standing there and making sure things are working as they are. So you're not like
you
actually cutting anybody back there.
Yeah. Well, they probably have now, instead of one person per turnstile,
they probably have the one per the two
or the four. That's right there.
It'll be 1 for 2.
Yeah.
At Walt Disney World, they still have 1-and-1. So for every point of entry, for every entry gate, you have a human being, a cast member, manning that station. So, and let's just do a general point of reference. So, Magic Kingdom on an average day has, I believe, 56 entrance turnstiles to the entrance of Magic Kingdom. So literally, if all of them are open at once, that's 56 cast members just on the gate. You know what I mean? That's not counting anybody else. That's a lot of people. Now, do they ever open all 56? They don't. They open, I think, the most I've ever seen them open, I believe, was like 38 at once.
Okay.
And that was at the beginning of the day, right before rope drop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then at night they reduce it to like 3.
Yeah, but does that include the Magic Band entry and all that?
Oh yeah, that's everything. Sure.
Okay,
So
okay.
you know, it's so like at Magic Kingdom, it's different than let's say DC DLRA. So when you get to the TTCC or Ticket Transportation Center, what there is there's a security checkpoint.
Mhm.
So you
Okay.
enter the security checkpoint, and you're screened, and you go through the detection device, and then you select your mode of transportation over to Magic Kingdom, which is either the ferry boats or the monorail. And you do that, and that's complimentary. They want you to take those modes of transportation because you're not going to walk across the lagoon. I promise you that.
I
And
still think
so
that's so
you
weird that you can't walk into the park.
well, you can from the Contemporary Resort Hotel, and you can if you do the real long roundabout from like where is it? The Coronado, I think. But it's a hike, man. I mean, it's like literally a 6 kilometer hike from like Coronado. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Whereas from
Yeah.
Contemporary, it's only about 800 meters. Forgive me for going on metric. I know, Jason,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't stand it. I get it, okay? But
I got you
it's
with
what I
metric.
know. It's what I know, man. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine with me with metric. I got you.
So again, it's an 800-meter walk, which isn't really far per se. You know what I mean? It could be for someone with mobility issues,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because the grade is at less than 5 degrees or 5 degrees, 0.5 degrees, it's almost
Yeah.
flat.
It's the- yeah.
Yeah.
almost.
That
my
you
point-
can you could actually doggone crutch it, or you could either MC or ECV device negotiate the course from Contemporary to the Magic Kingdom.
Right.
So that is a way you could walk from outside the park into the park without using Disney transportation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like I said, the most people like ferry boats, monorails, right? You get to the monorail station or you get to the ferry boat landing, and then you walk up to the entrance turnstiles, and then they finger, you know, you hit your magic band and or your card up against the first unit, and then the second unit you biometric scan, and then everything flashes that whole spinning thing, and it turned green, and then you walk right through the Joker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
Have a good day.
curious about the
Have a
expedient.
magical day. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so has that sped up entrance into the park at all?
No, because it rope drop lines go back almost 75 individuals deep.
Yeah. Okay. Because
At Hollywood Studios, it's worse. It goes back 150 individuals deep.
see, because
Wow.
they've begun to put those turnstiles into Disneyland.
Oh no!
And it was a thing. I'm like, okay, because they announced it at the end of last year. They filed permits to put them in. They're in
Right.
now in DCA.
Yep, at DCA, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, is this really going to speed anything up? And I'm like, no, I don't perceive why it would speed anything up. And if they're not going to remove the cast member from being there, why? And that's
Yeah,
Oh, it's because your card or your magic band will screw up. That's why the human being's there, because the human being has a. Do you know what a Dell Workforce is?
Mhm.
The device, right? Because
Yeah.
I use the Dell Workforce at work. Anyway,
Okay.
it's an armored tablet, right?
Yes.
That's more for everybody who doesn't know what a Dell Workforce is. That's what it is. It's an armored tablet.
Yeah.
And it's there, and what they do is they mate your card or your band to the Workforce, and they unscrew you right there on spot. You know what I mean? So you get into the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah, but
And all
see,
they're
that's-
doing,
No, go ahead.
so how they do it is, I mean, clearly the Workforce is on Bluetooth, was on their like employee, the cast member side of the Bluetooth veil. And
Yeah.
so they're automatically getting like checking the database, checking the reservation, making sure your card is mated to your biometric, and that's how you're getting in. You know what I mean? Does it speed things up? Again, Hollywood Studios, 150 individuals deep, man.
Yeah.
Not that fast. I think it slows crap down personally.
So
Yeah,
so
but they're using it to like track you throughout your park and what you're spending and all that. So
this is
them,
where I'm-
it's worth it.
To a way, yes.
because I'm like, so why can't I just have a ticket?
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but they're still going to take your picture, and they're still, you know.
That's what I'm going. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All the mask of like, well, it's innovative and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that's kind of my point. It's like, no, you want to track us. I don't know that they said this. Like, well, we really just want to track you. Don't try to sell it under the whole thing about convenience or look at the cool tech and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you want to track what we're doing.
No, I understand. I mean, you could say
Yeah.
that you're doing it for public safety concern, or you're doing it for security concerns. That's why you're doing it. And I don't think anybody would really have a problem with that.
No.
Other than, like your rabid libertarian privacy advocate types that clearly wouldn't attend something like that.
Yeah, I have to
You know what I mean?
I
With
said this
respect,
when,
with respect to libertarians.
Yeah. I'm not a rabid, but I'm definitely more libertarian leaning. But that's the point. But yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Just be upfront with this. This is why I get a little frustrated. I'm like,
Sure.
oh man.
I'm
Just be real.
surprised when they made Magic Keys that they didn't physically make Magic Keys with the Magic Band like tracking built in or whatever.
That actually.
I think it's because I think
You
it's
wear it around your neck, you know.
I think it's because there's not enough surface area on the key to fit the actual chip.
There would be.
You know what I mean?
If you designed it right, the key has a little section at the top. You could have like a giant D in there, or put that thing right.
Oh no,
There's ways around
I
it.
understand. I mean, I understand that, if you wanted to go like next level and go with an actual implanted chip,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's only like, what is it?
Those chips
It's only like
on the Magic Band
5
can come
nanometer
off
across.
and just swap out the bands. You could just swap it out and put it in a key.
Right.
If you really wanted to.
So you're saying you can,
like, I'm surprised that's not a thought they didn't come up with to sell more plastic keys. You know?
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's because they want to sell. I think they want to sell bands and keys, Jason. I think that's their thing. They just want to sell more.
Well, let's talk about that side because
sure,
the keys are still available.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
So I mean, why did we go through all this bullshit before, limiting how many times and how many? Like, it's been a year and a half since I've been able to buy a key, and I finally got one because now they're just for sale.
Okay.
I could have went this whole year.
So here is what my thought process was with this. And I don't know, because I don't know how it's going to go down the road. This is all predicated on it continuing, that they don't shut them off again. Okay? Because if they shut them off again, my whole thought process goes straight out the window. Okay? My thought is, if they have just now opened them up and said, and without any fanfare, like, boom, there you go. Oh, okay, cool. Back to the way it was. Like, they were just there. You could get them. The artificial scarcity being created by we're going to sell them out. I think that little game has been given up now. Okay, no, we don't care anymore. That on top of it being, they need more money. They do. So why would you do that anymore? So, okay, we'll increase that revenue, that bit of revenue. And it could also be the fact that they're understanding that we need to go back a little bit and begin to regain the people we've lost that have gotten, why do I need to get this? Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do that? When there are literally courses out there right now that has to teach you how to spend a Disneyland day, that's for real. That should automatically tell you it's too complex. So to me, if they continue to just, now they don't close them off again, that's a sign that Disney's like, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. It's a positive for me. The other thing that I said, and we just talked about it on my show when we recorded earlier, the day I will be happy and be like, Disney is finally getting it, is the second they drop reservations. Once they drop that layer of reservations, that is going to be one of the biggest signs that says, all that crap, all this control, we're giving it up because we realize we've gone too far. That game that we tried to push on the Disney faithful is no longer working, and we see it. Sorry, they won't say sorry, but they're just going to disappear. And I said it the day that happens, and I stopped seeing, like, even the announcement of the Magic Key. On the very tail end of it, it says with something about reservation. I said the second that bit of the sentence is removed is the day that I go, and I'm going to literally have a party that day, because it's a great sign that Disney is finally beginning to extract its head from its posterior, understanding
contact.
what they need to do. So,
Right.
if they close it off,
if they remove the
all that-
reservation,
huh?
if they remove the reservation, how do they control how many days you're booked ahead of time on your Magic Key? You know, because that's part of their deal with it.
But
I think they'd have to scrap that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why that's why it's huge. If they eliminate that, that is them going, have at it, ladies and gentlemen. Have at it. And they're going to now
First come, first serve.
Yes, exactly. You guys need to come in here. We're going to go back. Complaints about it's too full, blah, blah, blah. Nah, too bad. So sad.
Like we said, there was never really a problem. Like, how many times have they closed the park because of attendance? You know, like stop people from coming
times
in.
a year.
Yeah.
So I can't speak for DLRA, but I can speak for Walt Disney World. So for Walt Disney World, the Florida state fire marshal requirement for Magic Kingdom is, I believe, 78,300 and change, right?
Okay.
Once that threshold is reached, they have to close the gates for entrance, and then they can, once like so many hundreds of people exit the park, then they can open it again for the next few hundred to come in. And the only day they do this is on 31 December, per year. Like the only time they ever do it is 31 December, because I guess there's some big Florida thing about how you got to spend New Year's at Walt Disney World, whatever. You know what I mean?
Same thing in Disney. Same thing in Disneyland.
In DLRA? Okay.
Yeah.
But even then, like, I don't think it's full enough for them to close it.
It's super rare. That's why
I think you can count it on one hand how many times it's actually been closed.
Yes.
Like I'm pretty sure probably the California State Fire Marshal is a lot more lenient than the Florida State Fire Marshal, so you could probably get a lot more people into Disneyland Park, you know, than you probably could Magic Kingdom in Florida. You know what I mean? So, I mean, because my dad was telling me, like, back in the late 60s, you'd have 95,000 people in there. You'd have 95,000 people in Disneyland Park, like in 1965 and 1966, 1967.
Yeah, I believe it.
And my mother said that literally trying to negotiate, meaning to move between the Adventureland Treehouse, was Family Robinson, and New Orleans Square was next to impossible.
Yeah, I believe
because it was wall-to-wall human beings.
Yeah, I believe it.
And this is before strollers, man. This is before wheelchair. This is just standing, ambulatory, walking human beings.
Yeah.
And if the park is busy now, it's because of all the rides that are closed.
Well, no,
they have nowhere to go. So
yeah, that was the other thing. Is like you got Haunted down, you've got Tiana's down, or whatever we're going to call it, Splash Tiana. And then on top of it, you have different attractions that are going down randomly 101. So, going 101. That's going to funnel people back out. So
well, and then you put stuff in the lightning lane on Pirates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the knucklehead who took off his clothes on Small World. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a
and
job.
Close that thing for like 3 hours, man.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that video and I just put my head down. I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, funny enough, we used to have a segment which Mark will do every once in a while. We read off the Anaheim police reports for Disney.
The police blotter outside.
Some interesting stuff. And some interesting stuff has popped up that has happened in Disneyland Park. But anyway,
that's funny.
But anyway, so back to it. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the big thing. Once you see reservations drop, that is going to be a huge positive, a huge sign. going away.
Over at Magic Kingdom, did they get rid of the reservations already, or
It's
Not
still there,
yet.
but like after 2, it's open.
oh,
Not yet. It's only between rope drop and 2. After 2, you don't require a reservation to enter the park.
I think
Yeah.
regular tickets still don't need them.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
If you're literally buying a day admission or a 3-day admission, you don't have to need a reservation anymore.
Yeah. So to
I mean,
me,
like,
when I heard that, that was me. It was like, okay, this is the beginning. This is the incremental
right.
removal of that. Well, and then them trying to, the way I feel is like it's them trying to regain, like, well, this is what we used to do before. We had the reservation
Right.
system. So you need to build back that infrastructure that clearly got gutted, and then you got to build it back. So it's got to be incremental.
But like, why not just take out the Band-Aid and like they think there's just going to be a rush of people like all coming in like every day. Clearly, the Magic Key
$128 a day? No. $128
No.
a day? Hell no.
No, and this is where I go to. This is them not wanting to relinquish that bit of control. They don't want to give it up. They got mainlined this huge influx of control. Who's going where? What's going to do? We can curb costs, do this, get people here, blah blah blah. The overwhelming data and metadata they got from reservations alone. I mean, that's got to be a hell of a drug for them to logistically plan it out. So for them to remove that is a big thing. It's like they're weaning themselves off of that. You know, that's the way I can say they're weaning themselves off of that. And they can't do it all. They're not going to rip the Band-Aid off. There's no way. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves, which is sad, but it's true.
But conversely speaking, wouldn't it make sense to do it? Because people on reservations, especially Magic Key holders, they're not spending the money that day ticket holders are. They're not buying the merch. They're not buying the food and beverage. They're not paying for the add-ons like here in Florida, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, or like build a lightsaber, build a droid, or what have you. They're not doing that. You know, they're coming in, they're watching a show, they're going a couple rides, they're going home. They're not spending their money. I figured you want your guests to spend their entire life savings up there.
Though, they were saying that a lot of the pass holders were the ones spending more money.
they were getting the popcorn
food and
buckets, they were
yeah.
getting all the specialty items and stuff like that.
like the resellers, right?
Well,
I mean,
not solely. So no, but here's what I always say, because I've heard that argument often is like, hey, but you know, the Magic Key and the pass holder aren't spending that much money in there, and I go, but maybe that's true, but they're also not occupying your park very much. They're coming in for a couple hours. Maybe they will buy dinner there, maybe they won't, but they're not. That revenue stream is constant. It's coming. It's not going away. So if they come in and you don't get the add-on, but you still have that. So what if they didn't come in? You wouldn't even get that residual. You wouldn't even get that pass money coming in. So I get that to an extent, but that's where I always go the other way. I'm like, but also you've got to remember, and this is the one thing that I've never seen any data on, and I wish somebody would do a study on, is like those pass holders, how many people do they go, you're coming with me? How many times have they gotten somebody be like, I don't know, Disney, like, no, you got to come. And then boom, next thing you know, there's another pass holder. There's a person planning their next trip. I will give you a perfect example. I know this is anecdotal, but we had one of our listeners on. He lives in Colorado. And we had him on a couple shows ago. And he described his trip, what he does. He's a pass holder in Colorado. He goes twice a month. And he basically said, this is how I do it. In that course of the conversation, he said, I've also had people who are like, I don't want to go. He's like, no. We're going to go. I'm going to pay for you. We're going to go. He has converted a group of people now that are all now Disney fans. So there is something to be said about the Disney faithful bringing more people in. And if you piss them off, the word of mouth is huge. Remember this. The word of mouth can carry more than any advertiser or anything.
What Kenny was saying, too.
Yeah, well, like Christy, myself, and Joey used to go and meet up all the time.
Yeah. So I was just there. I was just in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Christy and I had a conversation about this.
Yeah.
Because Ty, her son, is there, and Ty's like, I want to go back. And she looked at Ty, and then this started the conversation was, they've priced me out right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see this, and Disney's and Christy is a good example of a Disney faithful who's like, I can't do this right now. Like I can't. Disney is pushed so hard that I can't go. Like she wants to go, she wants to take her son,
Right.
okay, but
And that's the key thing though on that is that she won't go unless she has a key, and she can't buy the key. But it's the same thing as
it's
me.
circle.
I
Yeah.
didn't go because I didn't have a key. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Right.
So now I finally, after a year or so, I have a key. Now I want to try to go down, but I can't go with my friend who is priced out.
Yeah, exactly. And now Mark picked up a key, my co-host, and he's like, when you going? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I don't know when I can go yet.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. All these things are all like just all symptoms of the overall problems with what's been going on. All of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I still don't understand the whole monthly payment for California residents either. That,
Special.
they're not the ones that actually need that. Here's a cheaper ticket, and you can pay monthly on it.
No. But no. Only the SoCal. And the SoCal.
That's what I mean.
That one's trash. That one's a trash.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, because you got to remember, Disneyland is the locals' park. It's
I
unlike any other
get that,
park.
but they want people from out of state to come.
Yeah, no, I
Easier.
don't. No, I agree with you. I don't get it. Why they make it difficult for people from out of state to come? I don't know. I don't know.
They think we're gonna like stop paying on a magic
Well, no,
key.
it's, and honestly, you're a great example, Jay. You're a great example. You're in Phoenix. You're a 4 or 5 hour drive away. You're actually closer to me to the park than I am, driving wise.
Yeah.
And yet you couldn't get a magic key. And when you go, you will spend money in the park. You will. You may not spend a ton of it. You may go buy something, a churro.
Clearly, I buy stuff.
Exactly. and see what I'm saying? So that's why I always go like, when I hear that, I'm like, no, but the Disney faithful, man, the guys the vast majority of the people who are buying magic keys are Disney faithful. They know what they're doing. Now they may be a little bit more pinpoint in how they spend their money. They may be a little bit more pinpoint, and they won't just do like buy a whole bunch. But most of the time, they're going to spend money there. They will.
Louis,
This internet crashed.
I just realized my
There.
Darth Vader fell. My
Oh.
helmet.
The Darth Vader pal.
The helmet. I just noticed my helmet's gone.
But anyway, so yeah, I even though we're having all the, we're talking about all these things, I honestly feel though that everything's turning around. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm still very, to put it away, I'm very white pilled over everything. I really am. I think all the outside pressures that have been coming, we're now beginning to see the effects of bad business and bad decisions. And while I'm not happy that it hurts the company, I'm also happy that because it's making them recognize.
Yeah, they're realizing.
They're realizing, hey, we haven't been doing that good of a job. We've been standing on the shoulders of giants, and we're failing at continuing that legacy. And sadly, it has to take them taking a hit in the wallet. But part of me is like, good. I'm glad it's happening, and I'm glad that it looks like they're recognizing. Because
But I mean, again, it takes them being threatened to realize this. To me, that means you don't know what the hell you're doing, because you should be seeing this the whole time.
see, but to me, that's a different discussion.
Well, I realize, but why would we want them still in control?
Well, so this is what it is. So as I see it, we don't want them in control.
Okay,
We don't.
good, because I don't.
And end of the day, Bob Iger, okay, I was going to say this earlier. When they announced the firing of Chapek and Iger was coming back, we did an episode on my show, and it was Bob versus Bob. And we had the discussion of like how many people were excited that Iger was coming back and how many people weren't. and we had like, I think it was 4 people, and the majority of the people were like, they were happy. Oh, Bob Iger is coming back. And I was the one going, this is bad, guys. This is bad. I'm like, what do you mean? And I kind of started going back. I'm like, look at what he's been doing. All these problems, it's this guy. So I don't think Iger is the right guy anymore. That being said, though, it is taking people from outside to do this. So I guess I'm at that point where I don't care why it's happening. I'm just glad that it is happening. I'm glad that if he's having to correct because of outside pressure, okay, then correct. And if you're not going to correct and you actually feel like you're going to get ousted, and you refuse to, then you get ousted, and then we correct.
Right, but I'm more concerned that, you know, even if they get rid of Iger, we still have the same people on the board.
Well, but I do share that concern, but I think this is where you have to look at it. But who's the ringleader?
Honestly, I mean, who is the ringleader?
It's 100% Bob Iger, and the way I look at it, it's 100% Bob Iger. That he has built that board to be. He's made it to encircle himself with a bunch of yes men. They don't push back. They don't come and check. They don't do what boards are typically designed to do, which is keep the company in check and keep the CEO in check, to making sure he's not flushing the entirety of the company down the toilet.
Well, I mean, if that's how it is, which I know that's kind of what I've heard as well. Mm-hmm. That's even more of a reason that scares me. Like we need other people on the board for sure.
Well, no, and the way I look at it is that if they do, let's say, remove Iger, if these people were nothing but Iger acolytes and Iger yes men, then that means they're susceptible to agreeing with whatever. That's why I think they're so afraid about Nelson Peltz and Tryon and Rasulo, because I think they know that they can exert a huge amount of pressure on these people, and they will make the changes. This is why I think Iger is so afraid of this. The fact that Iger has begun this blitz of, you know, pushing back against Tryon Group, to me is a huge sign that he's definitely afraid of them.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, that was the whole point of the video.
Yeah, I mean, look at the. I mean, you look at the video. Look at the things that they put out, and I'm like, well, and I'm reading the stuff. I'm like, well, dude, that's not accurate. Like, what are you doing? Like, even what was I looking at? We'll not go into it, but they're being very selective in how they're trying to show that they're being profitable. I'm like, when you read it and you go into the minutia of it, you're like, you know, so you're picking data to try to make yourself look as good as you can. And to me, those are all indicators that I think Bob Iger knows he's in some serious trouble. He's in some serious trouble. Yeah.
No audio, Lewis.
Can't hear you.
Oh. We understand what you're saying, though.
He's just as pissed off as we are.
Yeah, he's going. I'm like, I'm trying to pick up on his vibe, but I can't hear him. Let him restart.
I was gonna say he might have
he's gonna restart.
Refresh his browser.
Yeah.
No, but I'm like, I want to wait for him now because I'm like,
no, I know.
Yeah.
We'll let him get the last word in or whatever. No, but I mean that's what I've been saying. It's just,
I need to get Lewis on my show.
Yeah. Oh, here he is.
Coming back in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey!
All right. Like I was saying, forgive me.
Okay.
Jamie Dimon, who is this current CEO of JP Morgan, and Abigail Disney, arguably the one Disney family member who has a lot of stock in the Walt Disney Company, are both backing Bob Iger.
I know.
And against Nelson Peltz and the Blackwells. So that kind of like indicates right there that Bob Iger's like calling out for like lifelines from like all his little buddies from across like American industry and American commerce to come in and save his bacon. Because like I was saying about half an hour ago, I think he's genuinely scared.
Oh,
I think he's scared that I think he's scared that Peltz and the Blackwells are going to get what they want.
Yeah. And the
And,
beauty,
yeah.
this is the beauty of it all, right? End of the day, it's the stockholders that are going to decide.
Right.
End of the day, no matter how much he wants to kick and scream, the stockholders will decide. They are the people, whether it be Nelson Peltz, who has how much in stock, Disney, whoever it is.
15 billion.
Yes, exactly. So whoever it is, the vast majority, they're going to be the people who own 8, 10, 2. Those all carry the same weight in the vote.
Right.
So that's the beauty of this whole thing. So yeah, the fact that I think Tryon, in their white paper, Blackwell's, honestly, I read Blackwell's, I'm like, meh. I read Tryon's, I'm like, okay, these guys are on point. When you see this, I'm like, okay, there's 100% that if that reaches enough of the stockholders that are just fed up with Disney underperforming, no matter what Bob Iger says or does, he's out. They're done.
Right.
He's gone.
Right.
Yeah, and
So,
every shareholder should be upset because maybe the stock went up, but you're still down.
Yeah. I happen to know one, and I know how he voted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to know the same one, I think, because I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and he voted. Mm-hmm. But who's it? Jim Cramer. Did you see that by Jim Cramer?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Okay, Jim Cramer is. You know who Jim Cramer is?
I think I
He's a
didn't
stock
hear
guy,
anything.
an analyst,
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe it was about 3 weeks ago now. But even he came out and was like, "Hey, I'm voting for Tryon," and I'm like, "This guy's on TV, and this guy's been like buddy with him." He's like, "No, you're." So absolutely, I think even if nothing happens this year, next year he's done, and I think he knows it. That's why they're throwing everything they can to try to keep him in one leg.
He keeps saying he didn't want to come back anyway, so then just go.
Liar, pants on fire.
But I mean, I keep saying this too. So the one guy who has lost like $6 billion has a vested interest to make the company grow and do good. That's the guy I want in charge.
Absolutely. The guy who's
even
got
if he's just on the board, I
skin,
mean,
$6 billion is with a B.
billion.
he's got skin in the game.
Yeah.
And so for me, I laugh when they try to be like, well, he doesn't know. I'm like, dude.
That's funny too. Well, he doesn't know what he's doing, but yet Iger himself used to call upon him for advice and help. And how do you say he doesn't know what he's doing when he clearly is running businesses and his running partner used to work, for Disney? He clearly knows what he's doing. So you can't just say that. That's just blatant lies.
And then when they try to paint a former CFO as too old school, I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's
Come on.
5 years ago he was in there. I mean,
yeah, right. The guy who worked for the company for 30 years, but no, that 5-year window, he's clearly too old. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
God. Like throwing whatever they can at the wall, hoping and praying that somebody sticks. But like I was, go ahead.
On that note, I mean, we can see the longevity of certain Disney executives. Like, look at everybody's favorite person they love to hate, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Right? She's still there.
Why?
She's still very much in charge. She's still very much in charge.
She obviously
all
has
the kicking,
blackmail or something.
And all this kicking and all the screaming and all the like legitimate arguments in the world haven't changed that. But if you put Nelson Peltz and you put the Blackwells in there, perhaps forward momentum is going to happen. They're going to achieve critical mass, and she's ejected, as she should be.
Well, again, this is why the fight is so on, and this is why I covered a lot of. I covered almost every episode lately over the last probably 6 months on my podcast, because I feel it's important for people who aren't this deep in the weeds with this stuff to at least get an understanding of why this is important and what could. So all the problems or all the issues that you have with Disney as it's currently being run, we need to point out these are the issues, and this is why you're getting what you're getting. So, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy's 100% still around because of Bob Iger. No way around that. because you cannot have a CEO of a company destroy a company and franchises like her. She's obliterated Indy. Don't get me going on Willow. And then look what's going on with Star Wars. I'm like, you know, after The Last Jedi, I just threw my hands up. I'm like, she's got no idea. Got no idea what's going on. Zero. So this is it. So it's only because of Bob Iger she's around, and 100% happens. 100%, he's gone. He's gone. 100%.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, it's this continued failing upward. At some point in time, is going to catch up. It has to catch up. If not, the company collapses, and then what do you got? Nothing. Then Iger, if he's so worried about his legacy, he's got a legacy of, oh, you're the guy who killed Disney. We'll put that on your headstone, because plenty of Disney fans will put that on your headstone.
Yeah.
With the
Oh, yeah, they will.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So,
This
I
is
mean,
reality.
I understand. I mean, I do understand what everybody's saying about why it would be a good thing for Nelson, Peltz, and the Blackwells to get on the board. Absolutely. You know, I mean, I think as fans, I think it's like you were saying, fans that are in the weeds, fans that are like digesting this minutiae, these obscure little news articles in foreign press of all places, trying to determine what's realistically about to happen.
Yeah.
You know, at least with some degree of certainty what's about to happen, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because like I was telling Jason before you come on, a majority of that $60 billion is going to DLRA in Anaheim. That's where the majority of it, if for land operations in the United States, the rest of that $60 billion is going to the cruise line.
Yep.
Like Walt Disney World isn't getting hardly anything.
No.
Like they're not, you know, and it sucks.
You guys got Tron.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah. Oh, we got a railroad back. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're shitty.
my God.
Where nothing's on.
You guys are something else. Sweet. Oh, wait. We got Journey of Water. And we have now
Isn't that
World
broken?
Celebration. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Kenny just did a video on it last week, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw Kenny's video of it, but it looks gret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I mean,
so-
if they invested all that time in Epcot, like they did in Epcot and Tomorrowland, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Tomorrowland definitely needs that somewhere in the range of $7 to $8 billion American dollars to completely rehab it to Tomorrowland 2055. Absolutely, and it would be nice if it happened before the year 2055. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be even better, right? But the way
Udi
keeps
in my
talking,
lifetime.
we're not going to see it until 2055.
Yeah, we won't. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
It hurts me that I've kind of come to terms with I may not see it in my lifetime. I may not.
What?
Yeah, may not.
What?
May not see it in my lifetime.
Oh
I
my
hope
gosh,
not.
you're making me. You're hurting my heart, man.
I know.
You're hurting my
I know.
heart right here.
Yeah,
You're hurting my heart. Oh,
right there with you.
I guess what I was getting at is it's good that the money's not going to Florida because it doesn't need to. They've already had their spending.
Well.
what? No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Well. Okay. But no.
You got the new Guardians ride. You got
Oh
Tron.
my God.
Yeah. We got nothing.
You guys got.
Yeah.
You guys
We
got.
got-
You guys got adventure. You guys got Cars Land. You got Adventures Campus. You're getting Avatar. I mean, you guys got a whole bunch of cool stuff. I mean, okay. I need to stop because it's not fair. You're right. DLRA has been the neglected stepchild of the Disney park, like worldwide for years. I agree with you 110%. And I am happy that Disneyland Forward is going through and that they're about to spend a boatload of money out there. I think it's great. You know, I just wish that they would make Epcot what it needs to be. It's not, we're almost there. We're not there yet. And I just really wish it would happen.
Well, it's
But
just
then
like
also,
everything else. Like we announce it's going to be awesome, and then it's like Oh yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. That's not
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
like
Right.
Galaxy's Edge. Oh, you're gonna have all this stuff and
No.
nothing.
And
like.
I
Can we just?
believe it was Udi was talking about, because I was thinking this initially when you told me that we're going to be doing this cast today. I was thinking what Udi had to say about Universal opening Epic Universe this year in Orlando, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's right. That's why Bob Iger wants to spend all this money, because he's afraid of NBC Universal. Like, he wants to be able to compete with them.
They've made this whole park faster than they built Tron,
Right.
and that's a copy of a ride that already exists.
Right.
What the hell was going on there?
Right.
This is
mind-boggling there.
well, no, this is why I keep on coming back to it. I don't care why, but it's good that they are, and it's clearly the outside pressures that are beginning to move. The competition of it is beginning to move everything in the direction that it needs to go. Disney and Iger, I'll lay the lion's share on his feet because he's been the CEO the longest, has sat on their hands, like I was saying earlier. They've been sitting on the shoulders of giant, complacent. We're Disney. That's it. We're Disney. That's all they've been saying.
Well, he himself walked Tiana and said it sucked, apparently.
Yep.
And yet nothing seemed to have changed.
Well, they did. Somebody did, leave.
Well, yeah, but did you
WDI
change the ride? Because it still sucks, right? I mean,
No,
I
too
don't know.
late. Too late.
Well, that and
Somebody
also
said-
they.
Sorry, Louis, go ahead, Louis.
Well, after Iger's walkthrough, then they turned around, like, I think a week and a half later, and they introduced the Generation 5.5
Oh yeah,
Tiana audio animatronic
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
talked about the last time I was
Yeah.
on here. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Again, like too little, too late. You should
Okay.
have had like 20 more of those.
Agreed. And we talked about there's only going to be between like 4 and 8 Generation 5.5
Yep.
audio animatronics on the Tiano's Bayou Adventure at Walt and the Magic Kingdom, as opposed to what do they have at Shanghai? They're having something like, for Zootopia, it's something like 37, 38 Generation 5.5s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah, some-
Disney doesn't even own. Disney only owns 49% of Shanghai.
I know.
Yeah,
because somebody was saying that the new Splash Mountain or the Tiana's Bayou, the one in Magic Kingdom, said it went from a happy, colorful mountain to now something out of Deliverance, is what he was saying.
I've heard
They're
that.
putting like flowers and stuff on it now.
I've heard that comment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rhonda has a
And
good
brown
point
water.
too.
And brown water.
Yeah, the
That's-
brown water.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I think
that's
that was
dark.
dirty rainwater, but
Yeah. So wait, Rhonda, what?
she was talking about how long they took to do the tree
Oh,
house
yeah.
project. That was like a year and something too.
It was like 2 years or something.
I think it's like a year and a half. I think.
And I mean, part of that was they had to remove that second structure, which was all concrete and steel, but that was gone in like months.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's why the new queue for Haunted Mansion, and hopefully that's not going to take like 2 years to do.
I mean, it should be done by what they said, August, September
August.
Of this year or next
Yes.
year?
of this
Yes.
year.
Of this year.
Yep. This
Really?
year.
Okay.
That's what they
Well,
said.
Because it's two major things. Flattening out and redoing a queue really is not that big of a deal.
No.
The shop on the other side, that's going
Right.
to be a little bit longer. But
Right.
in all actuality,
Is-
if you look at the concept art, it's one big building.
yeah, it looks like a pop-up or a tilt-up building.
But they're modeling it after the horse barn or the carriage barn.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
In all actuality, like knowing, again, I don't know if you guys know and how many people know, I work in construction. So for them to finish that is very feasible. Very, very feasible. If I can do a 7-building project with 8 different trades and finish that in less than a year, They
Hey,
should
that's
be able
good.
to. Yeah. Yes, which I've done.
Yeah.
I'm on one right now that we'll be right around a year, and it's a 5 building project with multiple stories and a few,
Right.
and we'll be done. And that's with weather delay. So this is one of the things that when you see that, if they can't get that done,
There's
that's
something
a whole
wrong.
other issue. Like
Yeah, but they also basically destroyed the whole queue, which they didn't talk about doing anything like that. And that's,
well, no, I know. I saw the picture. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, calm down.
They're
I mean,
probably getting down to
maybe
the
there was
foundation
an underlying issue that they needed to take care of, plumbing problem. Like, I don't know, but why would you rip out that whole grassed and concreted area?
probably to
little
make
paver
everything
wall?
the same level. Because
I don't know what.
it looked
Look.
like that the queue that we were in was maybe just a step or two higher.
Is when you go up,
Yeah.
up. When you come into the queue, you go in through the gates, you start climbing
You
up.
go
right away.
up, yeah.
You come around, and you loop back around, and as you're climbing back up, it's a slight grade, but it's there.
Yeah, it's
And
there.
Get into
Yeah.
the
I mean,
queue, back and forth.
Because the where the fountain was and the fast pass, that's all
Yeah.
level.
Yes,
And I understand
Yeah.
that, but was that an issue? Like,
Well, they got to make everything the same plane.
well, no, because you also got to remember
And drainage.
They also did it for handicap access too.
right.
Cool.
The ADA compliance.
Yeah, the ADA compliance did play into that. Even though I have been down the old ADA compliant hall before, and I don't know why they need to change it, but it's whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it does make sense that they would level that off, and then for the ADA compliance, they can go off in this direction, and we go up probably half a step or two to go up onto the patio area, and then go into the attraction.
Now, on the other side where the store is, do you think they're going to knock that wall down so you can actually see the cemetery back there?
I don't know.
That would be really cool if they did.
When
didn't
you
look
look
like it.
when you look at the concept, it doesn't look like it.
I know. It's because you can see that elephant that's holding up the roof or whatever that. I forgot what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
You got some neat things back there.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe there'll be like a window in the back where you can see it.
See it? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm expecting to be very, very on point as far as how the theming is going to go, and I would love if they somehow translate that over into the carriage house at some point.
Right.
Somewhat.
Right.
It'd be cool if there was no back and you can walk straight back there and see that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be cool. But who knows? I mean, again, looking at the concept art without looking at hard plans, I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? Yeah.
It's hopefully it doesn't turn out like the concept art you see in front of orbiter.
Oh God.
Yeah, that concept
but again,
art.
this is the thing is like, I would have been infinitely more apprehensive if they're like, we're going to go into Haunted Mansion and make some changes. I would be like, whoa.
Right.
The fact that it's a queue, I'm like, okay, well, we can chill with the queue. I mean, seriously, if they screw up the queue,
because I saw in some pictures too that the entryway there they gutted that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I'm looking at the satellite view of the queue right now as we speak, and like Jason said, the thing's been completely gutted.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have the best resolution, but it literally looks like large paving stones have been taken out of the surface.
Everything's
That whole
gone.
thing is gone except for the little pet cemetery, although they removed some of the tombstones there, and that little wall that used to went back to the other one is like there.
Right.
Yeah. No,
so my question, I did have a question. So this shop, you say that's on the exit, in part of the exit queue for the attraction. How many square meters is the shop interior?
I have not heard. I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they've.
Oh, so it hasn't been built yet.
No.
So it's being built. So it's going to be like Memento Mori at Magic Kingdom.
I would expect something like that.
I'll just say yes to that because I have no idea what that is.
It's more.
I'm gonna be like,
Okay, right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So at the exit queue of the Haunted Mansion of Magic Kingdom, you have a gift shop there called Memento Mori, which is Haunted Mansion centric gifts and merch. You know what I mean?
Yes. Then you,
So is that what's
Right.
going to happen in California?
yes.
We have a merch
Okay.
over by the pirate store.
Yeah.
They're actually
Right,
kind of
right.
connected.
Like the pieces,
Office
like the
corner.
pieces of 8, right?
Yeah. Next to
Yeah.
pieces
right
of
next
eight.
to
Yeah.
it. Right next
So
to it.
I would imagine it's
Uh-huh.
just that stuff probably going to come over, but hopefully they have new and better stuff as well.
Because a
Like
lot of
more
that
specific.
stuff. Yeah, because a lot of the items in that Haunted Mansion store right now is
Right.
Jack
It's
and Sally
it's
stuff.
50% that year for Christmas.
And
Right.
and that hasn't really changed up in a long time either.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
they did remove
Okay,
that
'cause-
little music box though at the very top. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they moved that. I
Hmm.
guess because people actually can reach it and we're cranking it and turning it on.
Oh my gosh!
Like me.
Wow.
It was like a little book
Wow.
or a chest, and they had
Right.
a key in it, and you can just turn it. But it's like way at the top shelf.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah, it's like a little hidden
They-
gem thing.
They have a similar thing at Memento Mori in Magic Kingdom, but it's in a what do you call it, armored case, like a plexiglass
Oh,
Lexan
wow.
armored case, so you
Yeah.
cannot access access the box. Just little minute thing. But the Memento Mori gift shop there at Magic Kingdom always has like the freshest like stuff, and they do merchandise sharing with Tokyo Disneyland Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that's cool.
So they do like this, I don't know, Disney wide system of like
Yeah.
merch sharing. So you get like Tokyo specific items at Memento Mori in Magic
Wow.
Kingdom.
Okay,
One of
Kenny,
the few
Kenny,
gift
Kenny, if
shops.
you're watching, Kenny, I want you to videotape that, Kenny.
So yeah, if Kenny's watching, I hope he'll watch it after we're done, I guess.
Yeah.
Or when
His
his internet
is,
resumes.
yeah.
Right, toast. Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I thought Memento Mori is like a really, really cool like specialty gift shop
That's
there
neat.
at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and as you describe it, that's what it sounds like is coming over there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There-
what's
there-
going to happen in DLRA, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like it.
There was a little
Cool.
bit of rumor of something from Rolly Crump's stuff is going to be in that shop.
Oh, like
really?
like House of the Weird,
Yep.
Yeah.
like concept, like 1963 concept stuff,
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
like originals or reproductions.
Probably reproductions because
Right.
I mean that's just the rumor that's going around, but
No, that
I think it'd be really cool if they
that would
added
be
that.
really cool because a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know about that at all.
No.
Oh, House of the Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
no
it's like
idea.
they have the melting candlestick man, and
Yeah.
Like Candleman, right?
yeah,
Well, see,
he's
I thought-
actually
I
in the
thought-
attraction now. Though
Right. See, because I
He's
thought,
in
I
Haunted
thought, like,
Mansion.
there was a little figure of him in there
Oh, really?
in the attic scene.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Last time I was there.
Carlos has a video on it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because do you guys know who Raleigh's son Chris is? Chris Crump?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Right. So he has a Facebook page, like public figure stuff, and he's constantly showing like artwork and like concept art and like his dad's work because like his dad
Right.
passed away last year, right? Like,
Yeah.
Raleigh
Yeah.
passed away, and anyway, he's been putting a bunch of stuff on his Facebook page, and it's really cool stuff. Like a lot of rare stuff from like World's Fair 64, 65. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like Tower of the Four Winds concept art. I mean, it's really cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
But
that's really
But the House of the Weird stuff, that's the House of the Weird stuff. He put a bunch of House of the Weird concept sketches in there. So like I figured most Haunted Mansion fans knew about the origins of like House of the Weird and then the Stover Bedfoes house in Baltimore and all that. I thought they knew the
Right.
story of
Yeah.
how they got it together.
No, definitely
like-
there's a section that do, but I think the vast majority of people have no clue.
Oh, okay.
Like I do.
I mean-
and I bet you
Right.
Yeah. I do.
A few Haunted Mansion aficionados, they all know.
That's
right,
that's
right.
actually like my favorite right there. So or attraction.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah. Haunted Mansion.
No, I
It's one of
thought
my-
it was Mark Twain.
Yeah.
See? I thought your favorite was
Dude, the Columbia beats out Mark Twain every day. Come on.
Oh well,
No,
my old
it's a
channel.
it's a little
Yeah.
reference to the past. That's all.
Steve Won't-
That's how Louis knew me when I had my YouTube channel. I still do, but I had it. It was named as Steamboat Steve.
No,
and,
okay.
and then I changed it to Expeditions.
And somebody took a long time making you a logo that you never really used.
Yeah, I used it. I
Barely.
used it.
Once.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
I sit out there and I trace out the whole top captain's quarters as part of that ship.
Oh wow.
Oh, the pilot house.
Yeah,
the pilot
I did
house
it
on
all
the
in
boat.
vector.
Right.
and-
Wow.
Thank
Oh yeah,
you,
because
Jason.
I have seen the Steamboat Steve logo. Yes.
Yeah.
Before he took it down.
Jason
Right.
made that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah. And then I changed my
Wow.
name.
I'll send you a graphic.
Expedition Steve is a cool name. I don't
Thank
know if it's
you.
cool. Steamboat Steve. Because
Yeah,
Steamboat
yeah.
Steve is iconic.
Well,
Yeah.
Just saying.
send me
Like,
the graphic
introducing the world.
and send Steve the bill.
Yeah. We'll make some throwback T-shirts that never happened.
Yeah.
No, but
I like that. I like that.
no, but seriously, so Haunted Mansion's like your favorite attraction at DLRA,
Yes.
even more so than Pirates.
They come close, but I just love the facade of the house, and
Because most of your videos are Pirates videos.
yeah. I like
most of your
Pirates.
videos I've seen are Pirates. I have
Yeah.
not seen a whole bunch of Haunted Mansion videos.
No, I only have I think 2 Haunted Mansion videos, and that's
Right.
no, I have 3. The Christmas one, the regular one, and then
Oh
the
yeah.
what's the other one?
Right.
The other one is the Where Are We? So those yeah.
Rhonda loves you.
You might be the only one.
Yeah.
No, so the one thing with Haunted for me, and I made it part of my traditions about going to the park. That was my last ride every day. Walking
really?
on
Yeah.
11:58,
Yeah.
59, cruising in, enjoying it because it's almost empty.
Yep.
The bigger point of that is, I mean, haunted at night is a whole other thing.
Yeah, because the
Oh
lighting.
yeah, it's a whole nother level.
It's amazing. It is absolutely. I've taken some great pictures at night. It is gorgeous. Anyway, the bigger reason though is, I mean, to finish off like that is just a great final one to ride. But the other reason why is because usually by then you're off the attraction about 12, 10 roughly. You get to walk the park almost by yourself. If you notice, you see
it's empty.
Odd guess, it's emptying out.
Yeah.
That's the other reason why I like it. So that's
Yeah,
why I do it.
And that area of the park is just so cool.
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That's a good one.
That is cool.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
is
you did a
very
good job.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh well, too bad.
I'll make T-shirts. So.
You should. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make throwback shirts.
You know, Steve, maybe one of these days you and I need to take the Natchez or the Delta Queen down the Mississippi and do a
That would be
real
cool.
steamboat video. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
because I like steamboats, and
of course,
I
that's
love
why
the
you're
Mark
Steamboat
Twain.
Steve.
Mark Twain. I always have to. I always have to ride on the Mark Twain. It's just
Of course,
such a cool ship.
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like the Liberty Bell is at Magic Kingdom. Like, I love the Liberty Bell and I love what she does. And she's a great
Yeah.
ship, boat. Yeah. And like,
Yeah, the
it's
Columbia is
the
cool,
ride
too.
is so smooth.
Yeah.
Sailing ship Columbia is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
was
mean,
really
like-
hoping that what was her name again? Shoot. We were a guest on Sharing the Magic, and she was on. I forgot her name. You remember, Jason?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah. Anyway, so she made a book about food.
What Walt eats.
Something about what Walt eats and everything.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Marcy-
one. Yeah.
Marcy Carey's mother?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
She's great.
yeah, she was great. And
I met her. She's been on our show multiple times.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She's really cool.
She's amazing. She lives a couple hours from me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We have. I'll just give you this real quick. We have interviewed her probably 5 times. We've met her at the park one time. We've met her. They had a big thing downtown here at Stage 9. They did kind of and so we interviewed her there. She's also came with us and did the Disney Family Museum and walked it with us and listeners
in San Francisco.
In San
Yes.
Francisco, yeah.
Honestly,
That's cool.
Marcy is an amazing human being.
Yeah.
And I said in every and we need to get her back on our show.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing individual.
Well, she's making a sequel to that book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked to her a while back, and she was doing something with Nat Geo. Her book came out with Nat Geo.
Right.
And so now I know she's working on that too. So we're like, hey, you need to let us know more stuff. She's like, I can't right now. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great human. And she's like 4'5". She's tiny, but a heart as big as a mountain, man. She's great. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody was asking her questions and everything, and then she goes, Steve, you haven't asked me anything yet. So I'm like, okay, I'll ask you something, see if you know.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know, but it had to do when I was on the sailing ship Columbia, and I went down below, and I saw the captain's quarters, and they had he had his like dinner table or whatever, and I saw on there the plastic fruit, and then it dawned on me, it's like, I remember drinking out of the little plastic grape juice or an orange juice, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember if that was at Disneyland or not. So I asked her, and she's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, of all the people, I would think she would know.
I know. I actually know.
You do know. Okay.
I do know. So, right. You remember prior to 1982 when they had Old Fantasyland at DLRA?
Yeah.
Like,
they had a Welch's place, right?
They had the Welch stand. Exactly. This is where I'm going. So at the Welch's Grape Juice Bar, which is next to Fantasyland Theater, which is now occupied by Pinocchio's Daring Journey and the Village House Restaurant. Right. Anyway, in this spot, you could get the grape juice out of those big like institutional grape juice dispensers like you have like in a cafeteria or like in a dining facility. Well, off to the side, they have those little iced buckets, like galvanized steel buckets.
Yeah.
And they had an orange and a grape and a lemon, which had lemonade in it.
Yes.
And a couple of other fruit, like plastic fruit, like juice
it was plastic
squeezers
fruit. Yep.
with a straw. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I believe I gotta think about this for a minute. I believe the price in like 1978, 1979 was like 75 or 80 cents per unit. It was like really, really affordable as far as that went. You know what I mean?
Because I just remember drinking out of those things. And
this isn't a Mandela effect. It really happened. Yes, it really happened. Yes.
It really happened. I remember that too.
Yeah, and she had a great story about that. She didn't really know about if there was the plastic fruit or not, but she had a really great story about Walt, how at the Sunkist they had a juicer, and Walt every morning would go there and juice the oranges for freshly squeezed orange juice for the customers, and so I guess they I believe it was the team members or cast members or whatever, they bought him his own juicer in his apartment, and he would never use it. He never used it. He would always go back down to the Sunkist store and squeeze the oranges over there. He never used the one in the apartment.
I have a really cool Sunkist house story. So you guys remember Sunkist, I presume, in Adventureland? Like you remember that concession? It's where Bengal Barbecue. It's where Bengal Barbecue is today.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
So and you used to be able to get like the Tiger bars, which are like these like donut looking things, and
you'd
be able to get like the fresh squeezed orange juice, and you'd be able to get this orange Julius ice cream kind of thing, kind of like what we have at Sunshine Sea Terrace at Magic Kingdom now. Anyway, the point is they would actually have to haul the fresh squeezed orange juice from Sunkist House on Main Street behind the scenes via wagon, via like these they have like these bats or like I don't know, like storage bladders like on a wagon, and they'd have to pull them by hand, like from Sunkist House backstage.
Yeah, that's
all the way
heavy
over
too.
to Sunkist, I presume.
All that
and
juice.
you're talking like you're talking easily 70, 80 kilos of weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like heavy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So, yeah. And I remember because I was talking to Alex about Sunkist, I presume, and Alex is the one who told me that story.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Because I was
talk
always
about
wondering,
somebody that knows everything about Disneyland.
right? Because I know he worked at Bengal Barbecue, so like he knew the history of like that corner of Frontierland and Adventureland. Like he knows his own house. I mean, like he knew every square centimeter of that entire establishment, both stories. Because like I've been trying to get him to open up about the apartments on the second level, but he don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
It's like some G16 deep classified,
yeah.
Plane of Death stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
Alex, just tell us about the apartments, man. You've been up there. We all know that.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know.
Like, tell us the good stuff, man.
It's
But
like
that's just me trying to get in the weeds. I'm trying to get in the weeds as deep as I can.
It's like little Freddy's room above in Golden Horseshoe. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like the Wally Bogue break room at Golden Horseshoe.
At the Golden Horseshoe, yeah.
So it's like all this like cool hidden side of Disneyland that nobody ever wants to talk about because I guess there's some kind of death order on it or something. I don't know.
It's like I can tell you, but then I have to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the stuff that excites the crap out of me is like this deep dive history, deep dive stuff nobody knows about. And then trying to make it public, like literally trying to put it on the internet saying, oh, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. There are some apartments above the Bengal Barbecue, and people stay in those jokers. Don't believe me? Ask Elizabeth Taylor, because she stayed out.
Yeah.
Now you can ask her. God rest.
Yeah, the deep cuts are great. Those are the funnest thing for me, too.
Right.
There they are.
There it is.
These are Disney World, but yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
But that's what they look like.
Yeah. I remember the green tops and
right.
Remember them.
And the translucent straw. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they look like.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. All right, here, are you ready for a deep cut? Are you ready for deep cut?
By all means, Woody.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they were building, has to do with our show. When they were building Galaxy's Edge, and they were getting the spires going and everything, they invited cast members to go up to the highest point.
Sign that mark.
Oh yeah, they signed it. Yeah.
At the time, one of our listeners, he no longer works for the park, but he worked at the park at the time. He went up to the top spire and put LTP up there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Our podcast is now in the highest beam, in the highest spire.
Part of Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, that is cool.
I mean, he sent a picture like, no, you're not. Like, there's no way. And then he sent pictures of what he did. And we're like, holy crap. That's kind of crazy. It was kind of cool. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, that's as deep as we're ever going to get. And LTP, because I don't ever expect this to be anything Disney related.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of cool. But
that is cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Wow.
Put your little mark in the park in some little way. But anyway. It's not as cool as other deep cuts, but hey.
Oh, I mean, if you want, Udi, we can start talking about deep cuts for the rest of the program. I mean, I got more stories than I know what to do with. Trust me.
No, I believe it.
And it's like literally, I've been literally pimping Alex and pimping Matterhorn Matt for years, trying to get access to these stories. And they finally opened up. It was like really cool. Like we started talking about like the fallout shelters, like next to Pirates of the Caribbean. And we talk about how the fallout shelters can hold up to 250 people. I mean, we can start talking about that and the emergency drinking water stockpile and all sorts of just crazy deep G16 classified stuff. You know what I mean?
I honestly can we need to do a show with that.
Oh, you mean deep cuts? A deep cut special?
Like do a deep cut. Like we're gonna be here talking nothing but deep cut. I mean, and you're gonna be on it the whole time, so just warm up for that one. You do a little stretch before it's like, okay, here we go.
No, it'd be cool if I could get Alex on here because Alex got Alex is like the source for like 70% of what I know about the deep cuts.
Yeah,
We'll have
Rhonda
to-
knows. Rhonda knows Alex too.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Alex. That would be a cool
You think
show.
Alex would talk about Disney? Because Alex don't like talking about Disney anymore.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we
Sounds
interviewed
right,
him. We
you
got
know?
him talking about it.
Yeah, we interviewed him and he talked
Right,
a little
right,
bit
right.
about it. Yeah, more of the Queen Mary stuff, but
Yeah.
and his trains. So
Of course, of course.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
just over.
And I get it.
Disney.
He's making a living just like everybody else. You know, he's got to promote what he's promoting. You know, I mean, I get it. Just that Alex is a font of knowledge of the deep cuts. Like you want some deep cuts, you need to talk to Alex Historian. He got some deep cuts. He's good
Well,
like that.
We'll talk to him about it. Maybe maybe he can write them down or something if he doesn't want to be on it. But
I mean, I'm like the secondhand deep cut jerk. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I got a couple original deep cuts only because like I had to go around Alex to get this information. Like, you guys know about Disney Jail?
yeah,
Like I did this whole deep dive Disney Jail thing, and like I'm still trying to, like, about 2 years ago I was doing this big deep dive into it, and like trying to get blueprints, trying to get like latitude and longitude of it, and square dimensions and cubic dimensions, and what the material composition of the room is and everything else, trying to do this whole material analysis. And like
I
people are
saw
like, you're
somebody had a
flipping insane.
video. Somebody had a video, but there was just photos in it.
Right. It's just a posting photographs of the facility. Right. Like I've watched that video like shucks 400 times. Look, even Rhonda says she wants to know. She wants the deep cut.
Yeah. There was one thing that I never knew that I saw from Dallin about the Haunted Mansion, that there was that floating candle or something in one of the windows. I never knew that. I thought that was pretty cool, and you can see it at night, of course. It's
You remember the 1970 Kurt Russell special? On
with the Osmonds,
right, with the Osmonds, and with
yeah,
they actually showed that effect to great effect in the special.
Oh, okay.
But you have to be watching it very closely, and you need to have it in high res. Like, don't try to do this with like that grainy crap that's available on YouTube.
Yeah.
You gotta go find it. You know what I mean? You gotta find the good stuff, because that's where you see that floating candle effect in the window. It's
that was pretty cool.
Like
I
the
never knew
camera's
that.
right on that Joker, and like you see Donny Osmond's eyes like pop out of his head. It's like funny as hell.
Yeah, because he's still a little kid, right?
Yeah, he was like, I think like 11 or 12 years old when they filmed it.
Yeah.
I mean, this because remember, like the Donnie and Marie show is still like 6-7 years away from premiering on ABC at that time.
Yeah.
But then you have to be a Donnie and Marie dork to know that, and clearly I'm one of those guys. So yeah.
I just like Crazy Horses. The song.
Crazy Horses. The song. Right.
From the Osmonds.
Right.
You don't know that, Udi?
No.
No.
Nope.
You'll have to listen to it. The guy, I forgot his name. The guy from Iron Maiden, the lead.
Bruce Dickinson. Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, that's his favorite song.
Oh, good Lord.
You know what?
Yes, that's
you know
his favorite song.
I think you're right.
Because on Mark and
right.
Brian, and one morning on Mark and Brian, they had him on and they asked him, "So what do you listen to? What's your favorite like song?" And he says, as funny as it sounds, it's Crazy Horses from the Osmonds. So they never heard it. So Mark and Brian played it, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's actually pretty good."
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well,
on that note,
of all the songs, wow,
Yeah.
that is so cool. That is
all right.
flipping cool.
You guys got any final words, or you good?
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Bobby Iger.
We'll find out in April.
Yeah. Well, I was,
April 5th. April 5th is the voting day. Yes.
So I will. Last thing I want to say is like I was saying earlier. I think no matter what, I think we're in an upswing, and I think that all the things that are beginning to happen are all positives for the future of the park and the company. So
I really hope so.
Yeah, I always try to, no matter what I go on about, whether Jag or whatever, I always feel like I need to come back to the hope part of it. and it's always about hope, right? So
If Jeff was here, he would say we have to turn down the negativity into a positive.
well,
Yeah.
to an extent, yeah, no, we need to look at the negativity, but we need to
Yeah,
look
but
at
do it like we always say. We don't want Disney to fail. We want them
No.
to succeed, and
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
that's
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, at the end of the day, we're still fans.
yeah,
We're still
yeah,
fans.
that's what I mean. We're not here bashing Disney. We're just telling it as it is, and
I mean, at the end of the day, Steve and I want to drink Welch's grape juice on the Mark Twain.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Exactly.
with our steamboat caps on. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we
yeah.
want to do.
And our T-shirts, our newly designed T-shirts,
Right.
are made by
Make
Jason.
Tomorrowland great again. That's right.
Yeah, or that.
That's
Yeah,
what I want to do.
there we
Yeah.
go. Absolutely.
we'll have
So
make Tomorrowland great on the front and Steamboat Steve on the back.
I like
there we
it.
go.
We're doing mashups.
Collaboration. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Cross-channel collaboration. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but I did want to say thank you, Jason, for having me on again. I appreciate it.
we
It's
love
always
having
great
you
to-
on.
Yeah.
It's always great to like share knowledge and receive knowledge, get a pocket education inside of like 2.5 hours. It's really cool.
Yep.
You know,
I agree.
and Udi, I appreciate our association. I really do. Like
Same.
you and Mark are like flipping awesome. And
Thank you. I appreciate it. Right. Sentiment is right back out there. And when you disappear for a little bit, I made the comment, and I'm going to say it to you now.
Yeah.
I want you on my show. I want you
Oh.
on. Yeah.
you want me on? Holy
Yes.
crap!
We'll figure that
Yeah,
out.
I'll do you guys shoot just strictly Sundays?
For the audio only, but we are doing Wednesdays. We're doing the lounge, which is on YouTube Live. So we should be doing maybe Wednesday or Thursday this week. But I would actually want you on the audio, and
Right.
that's like long format like what we do here, but on audio.
Right. Right. Well, I can't do Wednesdays. I work nights. So,
No. Typically
Right.
we do Sundays for the audio. We do Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely.
Well, you can have Louis for a fee. So
Yeah. We have finder's fees.
yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
Lord.
will send him. No, I'm going to send him a Make America Great Make Tomorrowland
Yeah.
Great. And there we go. We're done. I'll send him a team.
Oh,
We're
no.
good.
Oh no, I would totally pimp that shirt on this podcast. Make no mistake. Absolutely. You know, I mean, as you can see, I'm pimping Sensational 6 every time I'm here.
Yep.
Somebody
Yeah.
new from the Sensational 6 is
Yeah.
on,
Daisy
is on my chest.
Yeah,
It's good like
yeah.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So
that's just my thing.
What was the email again, Udi?
For what? For me?
For your
Leaving
podcast?
today.
It would be Leaving Today Podcast. Wait, no, it's info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. That is our podcast email.
And Rhonda
I'm
says,
glad,
great show,
I'm glad
guys.
Rhonda said it was a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around, Rhonda. And hopefully one of these days we're going to have her on.
Yeah,
So,
she's gonna do a ride through video
Yeah.
with us.
yeah.
Awesome.
I did ask her to join this video, but she's at work, so
Oh, okay.
These things happen.
I did just send Lewis your email address, Udi.
Thank you.
Oh
Appreciate
yes,
it.
I have it. So I will definitely write you, and we will coordinate.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be great to have you on.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Jason, I did want to ask you one more thing before you like disappear. How is the game coming?
Oh,
The game is
game.
progressing. So
Okay.
we'll quit right now and we'll go right to the game.
yeah,
The game is
stay tuned. No, that's coming hopefully
Yeah.
later this month.
At the end of the
I'm
month?
hoping we can demo this
Yeah.
Awesome.
or
Okay,
do a
great.
first round or whatever. But yes,
Right.
let's talk about it for a second.
Please.
So I had contacted support for this software that we're using. It's called Restream, and asked them for a way that we can get into this live chat system they have, because it goes out to multiple channels and all funneled into this one thing. They told me there was no way to do that. I have now come across that they actually
heard
have a
this already.
developer API
Yeah.
where I can get access to that.
The person you
So-
talked to was wrong.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Wrong.
So
Yeah.
I have been developing this, and instead of me manually marking oh, you're right. You're right. You know, we're now doing it by like A B C D to check the answer rather than typing in the whole thing. So you just gotta type in the letter. I can now capture that, mark who's right, give them the points, and do it all automated.
Yeah.
So that is a big step. I also will
Excellent.
make it so it'll manually work just in case stuff doesn't work for whatever reason.
Hey-Man will be happy with that, with the one letter.
One letter. Some people type faster than others. It's really
Yeah.
easy to type one letter. So
Yeah, when I'm doing this, man, it's not good.
yeah, and it'll be case insensitive, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, with your thumbs.
Yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, so we have background music now, and the way the image questions work is like a hell of a lot better.
Yeah,
It's really about making the questions now, and it's
we got
pretty cool.
we got the ones from Mark.
Yeah,
and
Mark
then
gave
we-
us
Oh, good.
some.
Yeah, and then I added some.
I think we have enough for like 2-3 shows,
Yeah.
or probably even more. Really,
Yeah.
the first ones we should have done. It's just about organizing them. And I actually, I was planning on working on it tonight, Steve. I have a couple ideas.
Yeah.
That we can talk about.
Yeah, I couldn't do it last night. I got home too late. So
Yeah, I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning programming this thing with trying to get
That
these
sounds about right.
chat things working, and I did.
Yeah, and you got.
But now it's about connecting it to the actual answer. So
right.
Wow.
it's getting
Wow.
there.
All that work. Wow.
Yeah, we were
there was a heck
up
of a
till
lot of
like
work.
2 in the morning a few times.
But I mean, just to get the API to work, you got to do the OAuth, which takes you to the site. You got to allow it, which comes back, and then you got to forward it to get the key or the token, and then that refreshes or expires in an hour. So you got to have it refresh. So I had this whole like ecosystem just based on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
rather
making my
build a
head hurt.
house. Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm a
Give me
programmer, so that's what I
give
do.
me a paper plan, and I'm like, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I'm done. I'd rather be building a house than programming.
I mean, I like woodworking too. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna build a house though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's got some cool ideas.
Yeah.
So
It's
but
gonna be fun.
we will demo it between us again, and
Yeah.
I'll try to. We'll try to do it on a weekend, so you can invite you this time.
Please.
Um,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be
Uh,
fun. I think you're. I mean, the changes are going to be are good. So yeah.
Excellent.
We've come a
Excellent.
long way
Excellent.
since the last demo we did.
Right.
Yeah, because we took
I-
like your advice and everybody's.
Oh, actually, I still have that video. It's unlisted. I can send you the link to that if you want to watch it.
Wait, the test video?
The test video that we did.
I have it. I just haven't seen it. I'll watch it after
Oh,
we're
okay.
done here tonight.
Okay, cool.
No problem. I have
I
it.
wasn't sure if I already
Cool.
sent it to you or not.
No, I have it. So I'll watch it. And yes, I'm
Oh, I
looking forward.
I sent you the invite though, right?
Yes, I think you said
Did I send you the
Was it the
actual
invite?
link? the
let
link
me
will-
check real quick. I'm going to
The
check.
link will
I'm
be
gonna check.
on the channel. I don't think the invite.
Oh, it's
will
on the
actually
channel?
show it to you.
Oh, okay.
I'll just
Okay.
resend it. It's not a big deal.
All right, you sure? I don't
Yeah.
want to
Or
like
just
trouble you any
show them
further.
right
I mean,
after this.
Well, I mean, he can
I've
watch it.
been
on his own.
like-
It's kind of a longer video.
I mean,
so-
I've been asking you all these annoying questions.
Yeah,
so,
no.
I'm trying to get out of your way.
some of those questions have
Yeah,
have led
But see,
into changes.
he doesn't go around like Mr. Historian. He just goes right to it.
Oh yeah, right to the throat. Absolutely. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not afraid to say hard garbage on this show. No,
Yeah.
no, sir. I'm going to tell you what I thought about that Hatbot Ghost, and I'm going to do
Yeah.
it again.
Yep.
So if Imagineering WDI is out here listening to this podcast, yeah, fix your ghost, man. Fix your damn ghost. Put him in the attic where he belongs. I said it.
Doom.
There it is.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have nice things at DLA. We want nice things at Magic Kingdom. There it is.
Agreed.
I mean, I can't get any more simple than that.
You do have
Yeah,
nice things.
You,
got
you have a
space.
people mover, and so do we want ours back.
Yeah, but we want a
Highway.
people mover that goes up and down, not just this whole straight line thing
Yeah.
the whole damn way.
I guess the
And
magnet
ours
can't
was
do that.
smaller. Ours is smaller.
Yeah.
Like ours is maybe 6 kilometers in distance.
That's it.
Whereas DLRs is something like 18 kilometers.
I don't
Was
know
it
if
that
I
long?
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was
like that
long.
long.
It was long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about. the
Oh,
way
because
all
it's going through all the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah. You
that's
got to
right.
I mean-
remember.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right.
with respect to you guys, the average DLR-A people mover trip is 18 minutes 23 seconds in
Yeah.
duration.
Mhm.
The
I'm gonna put that in the
average-
trivia.
The average WDW trip is only at
It's like
12 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I watched Kenny's, and then did you watch when Kenny got escorted off? They got stuck.
they stopped. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the evacuation, video.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it. Yes,
that was funny.
yes, yes. And the cool thing was he was allowed to film the evacuation.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
cool. Because a lot of the times I've seen
They
where
tell you
you
to
have
turn it
content
off.
creators, a lot of content creators are being told, hey, you need to stow that photography equipment.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guess Kenny was able to do it, like the whole damn thing. So that was
Yeah.
cool as hell.
And
He
he's
was
all
even, like,
laughing.
standing up in the chair on the ride and like filming stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's super rare. That's super rare.
Yeah, I did to get Pinocchio when Pinocchio broke down. I was able to record.
Oh, you have an evacuation video?
Yeah, of
Oh,
Pinocchio.
Post it. Post
Yeah, I
it, Steamboat. Post it. Post it.
You know, I got evacuated off of Rise, and I didn't even think of recording it.
Oh, you need to.
Oh,
That's
that would have
like
been
gold.
cool. Yeah.
That's
I was
it's like
evacuated off
Rosen's
of
gold.
Splash Mountain once, and then went into the back stuff. But I didn't have a camera or anything then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got
Okay, next
evacuated
time.
off Adventures Through Inner Space back when I was a kid. But yeah,
Oh, that
you're
would
gonna
be
trust
cool.
a 12-year-old kid with a video camera? No, you're
Yeah,
not.
I got it. I got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A big old beer keg on your shoulder. No, I don't think so.
No, see now, but apparently, sad thing is, like, I bet you'll have another opportunity to record an evacuation off of Rise.
Yeah.
He
Please
breaks
don't.
that a lot.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
I got it.
All right. Okay. Well, let's end this
Yeah.
thing and call it a night.
All right.
Again, I just want to thank you guys for joining. Thank everybody for watching. Rhonda, thank you for watching.
And commenting.
Thank you, Rhonda.
And
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. And I'll put it down in the description. It'll be a link. You can leave us voicemail if you want. And we will see you on the next show.
bye, everybody.